fried a potato.
Fried with a potato. Sorry, I'm currently getting over a beef dripping flavoured crisp.
Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
Only the finest.
I don't like.
Only the finest things at D&D.
You sold on them?
No,
yet?
not very good.
No.
No.
Well, they're even deluxe. Well, the bag's gone now, so we can't tell.
As you can tell, we aren't sponsored by Aldi.
No.
Because we're slagging off your product. Take
No.
that, Aldi.
I'm a Lidl man. I've been going for 3 weeks to the new Aldi.
Lidl.
I don't like it. The aisles are too big.
Yeah.
You're
There's not enough in them.
a big man to me, Rich.
I like
Okay.
the middle
Thank
Lidl.
you.
That's what I go for.
Do you? Yeah.
I like to have a peruse.
Go to the Aldi one, you'd think, right? Yeah, they've got, what do they call it? The, can't remember what they call it. The special buys.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
middle, and you think, oh yeah, you get like, I'm going to get myself a chainsaw. I'm going to
Yeah,
get myself
that's
a bloody
it.
garden
Yeah.
shed. I'm going to get myself...
Inspection
Yeah,
camera.
a kid's puzzle toy, or an
Yeah.
inspection camera, something like that.
Yeah.
All of Aldi, it's literally just bird products. Like, want a birdhouse? Would you like a bird feeding ball? Would you like a bag of bird seed? Would you like
you like a bird?
Yes, would you like a bird? I'm like, what?
Now, did you go to a pet shop?
No, it was an Aldi. In Taunton, Chip Lane. Check
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, no.
Is that the new one on Roundabout?
Yeah.
That went up so fast.
It
It
did.
didn't
Yeah,
it? I thought that.
Yeah.
Because they've been preparing the site for months.
Yeah.
And then about two
Boom.
weeks
Threw
ago,
it up.
we drove up past there, and it's a big empty site with a sort of
Yeah.
skeleton of a
That's it.
building.
Yeah.
Drove up there earlier this week. There, it's there.
Yeah.
Parked in the car park. It's mental, isn't it?
You been in?
I haven't been in yet.
Oh, we
I
haven't been
haven't
in.
lived.
Yeah.
I haven't truly lived.
That's right.
Yeah. This is what you do.
Pet shop at Lidl.
Yeah.
I'm going for that extra 2 minutes. I'm going Lidl.
Yeah.
I'm going Lidl.
A little
Lidl till I die. Rap Lidl.
In case you're confused, you have tuned into Die Rolling.
white
We are
answers.
a group of intrepid adventurers
All over the
with
place.
very particular views on
we-
supermarkets.
Yeah.
Are we live? How long
I
have
hope
we
so.
been live?
20 minutes or so.
Oh, good.
Just talking about Lidl.
Oh, lordy.
Aldi, sorry. Not to confuse the two. Yeah, so there's a little less of us at the moment. We're currently at 4, including the DM, so 3 intrepid adventurers and 1 hanger-on. And yeah, we do D&D, vaguely speaking. If you want to know what happened last time,
I do.
I think we all would like to know. So if you wouldn't mind letting us know, that would be great. Failing that, log yourself into YouTube, have a little peruse of our previous videos. We are Die Rolling UK. You'll be able to find us if the accents didn't give it away. And that's us. So yeah, roll intro. Let's get this show on the road.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom! Yeah, that's basically it is.
But with
Yeah.
more punch-ups.
If you're not from the UK, don't go to a social club in the north.
Or a posh restaurant.
or a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or anything.
Anything past Birmingham, really.
Oh,
Do you not think-
UBGM.
What about the Curry Mile in
the
Manchester?
Curry Mile? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Gold Mile in Chesterfield.
Well, what do they sell?
Beer.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's the most pubs in a mile in England, I think. Because there's another one in Scotland there's more, but.
Oh, okay.
I think quite a few places claim that, because I think Porlock claims that
Do
as
they?
well. Mm.
Do
So
they?
It might be quite a common thing. Number of pubs over a certain distance.
Mm. Quite a few pubs claim the oldest pub in the world, I know that.
Yeah,
That's
there's,
some of them
there's
are.
2 separate pubs in Nottingham that both claim they're the oldest pub
Yeah,
in the UK.
yeah.
I think one of them recently changed their claim to be the oldest inn in the UK.
Ah.
I've lost many a memory in that place.
The old trip.
The old trip to Jerusalem.
Oh, he
The old
knows.
trip to Jerusalem.
Is that what it's called?
That was just
Yeah,
round
yeah.
the corner from Games Workshop Design Studio. which was on Castle Boulevard. It was
This is
literally,
Wizards of the Coast we're playing.
literally just round the corner.
Is it?
Well, the old studio, it's not there
The
anymore.
other guys. The other guys.
The G word.
Don't mention the G word. You may or may not remember a few facts I'm going to lay down. You were travelling down an embankment. A relatively small rolling hill, should we say. And then kind of lots of grass around, rocky outcrops, hither and
Ambushes.
thither. Lots and lots
Remember
of
ambushes.
You did a bit of a history check and you figured out that this road, which goes from the Elven Lands, you can see a wall in your periphery on
Remember the wall.
your left-hand side. A wall going down and some kind of ornate gate in the distance. This is the way in which you go from the Elven Lands up to either the Gnomish Lands or Shadegap. Piecing things together, you know this. If you were going to make a quick dart away from the feds, you'd probably end up somewhere around here. Because of that, banditry on the outside of the Elven Lands is quite rife.
Oh, you know where we are now.
Yeah,
Come back,
remember
yes,
this?
Trumpets.
come back.
Yeah.
Trumpets.
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 There was also the robots as well.
Remember trumpets.
Trumpeting.
That's
Yeah, they
right.
trumpeting, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
so you had-
Right, it's in.
In order to progress quietly down this hill, you were taking it quite steady, and you were joined by some companions.
Yes.
Those companions were three spherical automatons, should we say, rather than robots. Automatons that were communicating with a trumpeting sound, and one large triangular automaton. I want to say triangular. I'm going to quickly review my notes.
Pyramidical.
I think I'll find it. Oh, yeah, pyramidical. Yes, an inverted pyramid.
What colour? What I like about Theatre of the Mind
Oh, yes.
is we've all got completely different
Yeah.
pictures of this.
Yeah,
What colour are your
no,
robots?
no,
They're just like silvery to me.
Silver.
They are just, yeah, just like
I
mechanical.
got 2 golf balls and a bright gold upside down pyramid.
Okay. Yeah, mine are all sort of gold as well.
Oh, they have
yeah.
got silver.
Brassy.
Tell me they're silver.
What do I tell you? I'm going to leave that up to them.
Okay.
Your imagination.
Gun
And now I'll sing the imagination song for the next 3 hours. Oh, dude.
The even more extreme version of D&D is where you don't use any real colours.
Yeah.
What you have to make them up?
Octarine. Everything's
Yeah.
octarine. Yeah. Something
Yeah.
on the edge of purple.
They're Julice.
The Virginia Lund colour.
Tropical brown.
Tropical brown. I've had that experience. Everyone who's been travelling has had tropical brown at some point.
Another nickname I had at school.
Oh dear. So you were travelling down. You weren't very stealthy because these automata were communicating with one another with large trumpeting sounds. Loud trumpeting sounds. Let's go with that. You can, in fact, one of the party, Elantrix, has been able to decipher these sounds, and using a pretty fiendish translation system, they are speaking in Gnomish, but using tones and notes in order to dictate the words. Because Elantrix is very clever, you managed to figure it out. So well done.
Bravo.
However, it hasn't helped you much, and most of the time, the three spherical creatures spend a lot of their discussions bickering about who is carrying the heaviest of the three fishy, fleshy cubes, which they're transporting down the hill for some unknown reason.
The gnomes, we think.
While you're travelling down this hill, you were almost accosted by a group of people who you believe were loyal to the Halfling Liberation Front. And after making lots of trumpeting noises, unbeknownst to you until the last minute, 2 very large individuals stepped out in front of you, and 2 very large individuals stepped out behind you.
Large in halfling scale.
No, large in human scale.
Human scale, okay.
Girth, should we say.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Big halflings.
Great, massive halflings.
Are they halflings the size of men?
No.
Regular. Wait.
No, I was just
Regular humans.
regular humans, okay.
Roidlings.
Halflings.
Oh dear. But yeah, all 4 of the individuals appear human, and they greeted you with a exclamation, shall we say? And that exclamation was, I believe you boys have found yourselves on the tall road.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by boys?
Oh.
Damn, it's not a good time to get quaint. I think you know what we're after, and it's gold.
What do these assailants look like? What weaponry? Can we do a quick assessment of what's
You
visible?
certainly can.
See if we
Can you
can
give me
kick some butt.
the check that you do when you're trying to find out if somebody's a bit stabby? You know the one.
I don't know. What do you
Insight.
want?
Insight, thank you. Can you give me insight?
Ooh, I've got a -1.
Yeah, so have I. I'm not doing that. What have you got?
Ooh, I've got a 3.
3.
3.
They look very
any
pleasant.
advance on a 3?
Oh, God.
No.
Any advance on a 3?
I'll try.
Yeah.
I've got an 18.
An 18?
Oh,
No, dude,
that'll do.
well done. Wesley, you've no idea.
I do.
They look quite pleasant,
Yes.
actually. Yeah, they look
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't know very many people. So
Yeah.
of the people you've met, these are average.
Yeah.
You'd say. You get a very different opinion. Phineas, almost pronounce your name Phineas again. Phineas. You get a very different opinion. These are obviously hardened criminals. You're not entirely surprised that they managed to break free from whatever escort they had taking them to the Shave Cap. All 3 of them are massive. They look incredibly stout, incredibly strong. All 4 of them are human. They are not very well armoured, you would think. They kind of have scraps of leather and bits and bobs that's kind of tarnished and dirty. So they don't look particularly well armoured. However, the weapons they are carrying, you having looked at them, you're pretty sure they'll be able to use them fairly well. One
Any
is
ranged
carrying,
weaponry?
that's a very good question. Doesn't look like it. All 3 of them are carrying very large axes. It looks like they're mostly for kind of wood cutting purposes.
Wood cooking axes.
Wood cooking axes. Yeah.
When you're hungry.
When you're hungry, you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
Yeah.
You never eat the birch tree? I'd recommend it. They're all carrying very large wood cutting axes that you think have been repurposed or stolen from somewhere. However, all of them look pretty gnarly, as in the weapons themselves. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong end of it, especially in the hands of these guys.
Hello, gentlemen. You fine folk. Don't suppose you know of a Goric, do you?
I don't know any Garrick, and I don't know what you are.
Oh, Wesley Debenham. Pleasure to meet you.
Well, it's fine of you to introduce yourself, Wesley, but we were on the topic of gold, if you wouldn't mind.
On the what?
Gold, money,
Oh, yes.
cash.
You got things to sell?
Is this guy for real?
Oh, very much so. Please have a conversation with him. Please do.
In order to pass down this road, you're going to have to pay us a significant amount of money. Now, judging by what you're all wearing and what you got on her, it sounds like you got an awful lot, and I'd like to relieve you of it.
Of course.
Is this customary?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
man, how much is this?
Looking at the 3 of you, I'd say about 300.
What is it?
What are they, human?
300 what?
300 gold.
I don't have that. We must go around, I'm afraid.
Yes, that's fine. We'll go around.
Oh. Yes.
Afraid you
Sorry.
can't get round here. It's awful rocky.
No, we know a way. That's fine. We'll turn back around and just... Elantrix, at least, will take a few paces away.
There's 2 in front of you, 2 behind you.
Okay.
It's the-
Do they stop her? She'll walk. She'll try and walk.
If she
past
tries
them?
to walk through, one of them will just reach out her arm to stop you.
Okay.
He's going to lose that arm.
Okay.
While Matey Boy is talking with Wesley, can I sneakily pull my new staff out from behind my back?
You'd have to do a sleight of hand if you want to do it without
Sleight of
protection.
hand. Right.
Ooh.
No, it's not great. It's a 7.
You want to stow that weapon, man?
No weapon, just a stick.
You look mighty fit to be walking with a walking stick.
Oh, old war injury. He plays up every now and then.
Now, what wars did you fought in?
None that you'd know.
Now, I don't take kindly to elves and whatever you are walking through our territory now. We've been talking an awful long time. It's about time we settle this one way or the other.
Listen, we don't have anything close to the amount of money that you're demanding. I assume you're going to try and attack us, to which we'll... My guards are more trained than yours. Now, before we engage in this meaningless pursuit, have you seen anything unusual come through this way? We've been looking for strange happenings.
It's an awful lot of long words for people just guarding the road.
We're looking for any signs of unusual, of strange occurrences, of things growing out of things that shouldn't be growing. Anything like that?
Now, I don't mighty like the way this conversation's going.
No, well,
Abruptly, you just hear a... All four of them kind of put their hands over their ears at that. Like, can you shut that thing up?
At this point, I'm going to pull the staff out and zap the leader.
Yeah, go ahead. Have you got it written down what it does?
It just... I haven't...
Because I'll have to check my notes.
Combat. The new dice, or did you find your blue dice?
It's a ranged spell attack, but I didn't
fine.
write down.
Okay, it's probably because
What
I haven't
it
told
does.
you.
Yes.
Give me one. Uno memento, por favor.
Inside.
Joan.
Took him upstairs to do or something.
Yeah, you go ahead. And before you do that, we'll let you have this one round, but can you all roll the initiative as well? You can have a surprise round.
But they're such fine fellows.
I tried to find another way. 9.
9! Let me find appropriate things for you all.
17.
I've got 20.
I have no idea how to do this ranged spell attack with this
Don't
thing.
you worry, I'll clue you in a moment.
It's just see like Men in Black. He only pulls out the tiny little gun. Boom! Yeah, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm going to pull out this...
Mr. Manhattan is going to eviscerate him in one hit. Why the hell
I've
did I have
done
all
this
these two?
fantastic move. Pulled this staff out from my
Cool.
my backpack, whipped it round, put it into a sort of bazooka type position, and gone.
And it hasn't fired. You're like,
If a bunch of flowers drops out of the end of it,
womp, womp,
20.
womp. 20, yes.
17.
17.
Is it better than
9. What was it?
9. 9, 9, 9. Let's do 4 of these then. 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Lucky for some. Do.
Oh no.
Are we all in melee with each other? Is there no space? We're just all right up against each other.
They're all, you're kind of very close to one another. There's likely kind of 10 foot between front and back, so you're kind of in a general melee at the moment.
Ooh, we're getting close.
Getting close.
Knife fight in the phone box. Let's get him.
Let's get them, boys.
I'd go as far as saying it's one of the worst flavour crisps I've ever had.
Oh, they're pretty revolting.
Yeah.
There's nothing much there, is there?
One of the worst
They
flavours.
just taste like oily crisps.
It's the
Beef dripping. Wagyu beef
It's the
dripping
aftertaste.
flavour.
It's just like I've licked lard.
Like a dripping.
Oh no, thank you. Yeah,
I
no.
really
They've nailed
should
it.
put-
But
yeah, yeah.
quite unpleasant.
Well,
Trouble is,
that
I've got no idea how to add a weapon in.
sums Audi up for me. That's a little bit of disappointment.
In the app, so
Yeah, that's okay.
I've got no idea what the stats are for fighting with the staff once I've used it as a zappy stick.
Don't you worry.
So you're going to have to help me out on
On the
that.
break, we can get that
I'll
in.
Quarter staff.
I'll juggle it.
If you had a quarter staff,
Um,
you can do that.
I don't know how you add weapons into.
Does your
into the
character
app.
normally cast spells?
He's got magical abilities.
Nice. So you
Not
will have some kind of.
specific-
What do you use to cast those spells? Do you know? Like what?
His own blood.
Here you go, lot. So can you roll me a d20 and add 2?
Yeah.
Bills. I like to think these trumpets
That
are being
is
played by the 3
15,
robots behind.
Yeah.
They just fine into
baby, it's
into a
definitely
war song
hit.
for
Can
us.
you roll for me a d10?
D10. Nice.
Oh, very nice.
No.
This is a very Final Fantasy song.
One?
I was thinking that.
I was thinking it's a
The
very
Final Fantasy VII battle music. Yeah.
JRPG something, yeah.
Put the staff in front of you, and those of you that don't remember, it's a mixture of bones and sharp objects.
Is this from inside the fish?
Inside
Yeah.
the fish.
Yeah.
There's a writhing eye in the middle,
Yeah.
and the eye seems to pulsate. And as that happens, you feel kind of force kind of pull the staff towards you. You don't see anything, but the whole kind of air seems to push towards this individual. It hits them square in the chest. It doesn't seem to do much damage, but it does shock him a lot, and he is jettisoned 10 feet away from you.
Ooh.
We then go into turn order, and I believe, my good friend Wesley, you're up.
Is this a fight?
It's
a fight.
Oh,
no.
I thought they were very nice.
Right.
I want to I want to stay close to my
So you're all kind of front
comrades.
to back. Is kind of like between the people who flanked you from the rear and the people in front.
Yeah.
Is 10 foot.
Okay, so
Apart from the guy who.
Apart from the guy who's just been blown away. So if you imagine the one corner of a square has now been removed.
yes.
Yeah. So there is one
Yes.
way out.
Oh, we don't need to leave. Do we need to leave? Fight! Is there enough room to swing a warhammer?
Oh, there's plenty of that.
Then I shall swing away.
Plenty of that. Who's swinging out?
The one that's closest to me. I'd like to stay in with my team. Where does Sneaky Kit Kat come from?
Slightly uphill. Slightly uphill. There's 2 behind you.
Yeah.
Below you, so you're looking down the hill. The guy on the left's been hit in the chest with some kind of force power that's knocked him back.
Yeah.
The guy on the right still stood there. So if you're going down, the guy on the right is probably the closest.
Which way are our band of trumpeting robots
They're over
behind?
your left shoulder.
They
They're
are
kind of
playing-
in a collection.
They are
stood next to
playing
you.
this music, right? This is
Yeah,
canon.
this is all
what they've
orchestrated
just
by.
Yeah.
somehow coded that when
Yeah.
weapons are drawn, they just go into a war chant.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's
cool.
right.
Yeah, well, just gonna charge at someone. Don't care who it is.
Go ahead.
And it's a 20 to start, natural.
Just taste
We're gonna crit some boy.
Nailed it.
Oh!
Well, I mean, it's RNG off the computer. I didn't have to roll anything, but
Love it.
it does all the stats for me. Bludgeoning for 13 damage.
Nice. It's a big old hit. You crack him straight in the chest. You take him a little bit by surprise, so he just does take a bit of a step back. But other than that, he seems to be doing all right.
Disappointed to fight these people.
Can you do anything else?
Doric.
Bonus action or anything?
I'm saving a bonus action for a reaction.
Beauty, no worries. The guy who's been pushed 10 foot back looks startled and surprised in the fact that's happened. He is, however, going to pull this axe from off his back and start charging in. And he's going to charge yourself, Theneas.
Don't I get a go?
Absolutely not. No, not at all. Would you like to take your turn?
I just wondered because I did the first thing.
Do you
Did
wanna-
that negate my go? But
Do you want to take a go and also gain inspiration for noticing that
Hey!
you've been last out of the turn order? As
Did
tried
I
to
get a
break
surprise round? Just check.
my staff, is it a one-hit deal? Or can I reuse it?
That's a very good question. I'll take a little look. No, you can keep using it. As
Smart.
far as you know, you can keep using it. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I'm going to.
So there's
Going
one
from-
10 foot in front of you, just blasted far away.
One in.
Wesley's run over from your left shoulder to charge into the one on your left.
Mhm.
You've got 2 behind you. There's a vague trumpeting band somewhere
Yeah.
on the left hand side.
I'm going to take another shot at the leader.
Cool, no worries.
I think
So
I'll,
it's
I'll
your
focus on him.
D20 plus 2.
So D20 plus 2 is 18.
That's going to hit.
D10.
Yep, D10.
This time. It's a 10.
Oh, massive hit. So it hits him again. He's still kind of reeling from the last one. And the second blast hits him square on the chest, and again he's thrown 10 foot backwards as he's just constantly being pounded down the hill. He is then up, unless you've got any minor actions. What am I even saying? I'm just making this up as I go along.
I've got
Bonus actions or anything
two
like that.
attacks per action.
That
In
sounds
which
like
case
it
you
looks like a kill
can
team.
attack again.
I can still keep using the...
Don't say that.
It's a ranged spell attack, so you absolutely can use it again.
Screw it. I'm going to shoot him again.
Keep shooting.
Why not?
I mean, you're right. I had an extra attack as well, but I've missed it. But thanks for reminding me.
Oh,
I can take this
bless
guy
you.
out. No, that one's a 1. Natural 1.
It's a powerful natural 1, yeah. So that just you don't really know what happens because you can't really see the projectile. It's not like there's a thing going on. You kind of just fire this thing off. You feel the pushback, but nothing seems to land.
Okay.
Lovely. Did you say you missed a second attack?
No, I've ignored it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'll let you take it.
I go by Warhammer General rules. If you miss a rule, we ain't turning back. You're a shit general, and I'm a shit D&D player, so I shall sacrifice it till next turn.
No tixie back.
No Dixie Baxi.
You can only move your own pieces.
If I had the technical difficulties thing, I'd press that right now for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Oh.
no tixie
What's
back.
happened?
Yeah. And we're back. Yeah, we're back.
Ah, dude. Do you want to take a time out?
I'm good.
Ah, dude.
Passion.
Scared it.
Passion. I've lost my train of thought now. That's not hard to do. Okay, so being pushed, buffeted, should we say, down the hill. The de facto leader of this group, as far as you can tell, the one who did all the talking, finally pulls himself kind of round. He hasn't fallen to his feet, but he just pulled himself round. He hauls this huge axe, big heavy kind of lump of bladed material on the end of a large stick, and he charges back up the hill at Ethaneus. He is going to reach you, and in doing so he is going to try and attack you best he can, which is going to be a 12 to hit.
It's not a hit.
It's not a hit. He hauls this huge axe down, it slams into the floor as he kind of comes in. He's getting real angry, it would look like. That's how you describe this. And there's a lot of anger going on. But he isn't going to do anything else. He's going to stay there.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
the horns! Just want to clear something up, because I have a thing called fighting style in perception,
Yes.
where if there's creatures within 5 feet of me, I can reduce the damage done, but it's a little bit meta to wait until the damage is rolled, whether it's worth reducing it or not. But if I was actually playing, you would interfere so that's the what do you want to play?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So what is it thematically?
Thematically, so if you was to say, so I intercept, with a shield or something like that to try and reduce the damage taken by a foe. But realistically, I don't want to over meta it. You can wait till the damage is done, but then effectively, if you've been hit, then you've just kind of forced yourself in and said, no, I'm going to reduce that damage. Or do you say, when somebody's attacked, I want to try and intercept this? I don't know what the rules would be, if there are even rules around that.
There almost will be some dark
I know,
space on
yeah.
where people have discussed this at length.
Because it does just say...
What I would say thematically, if physically you're getting in somebody's way with a shield, then you should choose before
before you've rolled, I'm guessing, or would it be before the damage was rolled? That's the thing. I don't know where. I'm trying to figure out where.
You do you, Wesley. You
what?
do you.
Well, I'm not going to meta it, and I'm going to go in when I think I'm needed.
I'm ready. Is there a number of uses per
Just
day?
after someone's read the dice.
It's just a reaction. So as long as I don't use a reaction in that one turn, to my next turn I can use it once. As my
So
reaction.
what I'd probably say is you use your reaction on it. If for whatever reason they miss or it spanners off for some other reason, then we won't count it as a reaction, and we'll house rule it for now.
Cool.
Because you have to block something, isn't there?
We'll talk about this in the break.
Let's do it.
Let's carry on.
Let's do it. We'll have.
And we're back.
Oh, did you do some more technical difficulties? Did you? You're having fun with them.
We're enjoying the technical difficulties today.
I
Right.
have no idea what's going
No.
on at this precise moment.
I have no idea what's going on in general. I just thought that's how we all felt all the time.
Beef.
Beef stripping, anyone? Wesley, in front of you is a large individual. They're going to swing an axe down at you. That is a 16 to hit, I'm afraid.
Afraid? I say no, sister.
Oh, that dog, man.
Oh, Whoopi Goldberg, your ass. Don't know what that means, but I'm doing it.
This Wesley comes
You're
out
gonna
with some
serve
very
drinks
odd
on the
thing.
end.
I'm thinking Sister Act. That's the only
Oh,
Whoopi
I was
Goldberg
thinking-
movie that I
He's
know.
been listening to a lot of things on the internet.
I think I might have, yeah.
I was thinking the Next Generation.
I don't know that. I only know
What?
Sister Act. As a kid, I loved it.
10-4?
It's a great film. And yeah.
You know the Next Generation, 10-4. You guys know what I'm talking about. The audience knows what I'm
Do you
talking
think?
about. Breaking the fourth wall.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, Captain Picard, Next Generation.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg's in that?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, she's a bartender.
She's Uhura.
Is
No,
she?
she isn't.
I'm so confused.
She serves.
What's
serves
a lie
drinks-
and what is
she
real?
serves drinks in 10-4, which is where the recreation room and there's a bar and all the
Oh.
10 forward. Apologies, 10 forward.
Okay.
Anyway,
That's true.
so that misses.
It's descended into the map.
What's
It's
going on?
It's on deck 10 at the very
Ah,
front
forward.
of the ship.
Yeah, 10 forward. Yeah, of course it is.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what's going
And
We
And we're out
apologise.
of
Elantrix, you're up.
hello.
You still
Am I in
there?
melee with anyone? No.
No, you're kind
Not
of
quite.
in general carnage, is what I
Okay.
described. There's a lot of stuff suddenly happening around you.
Is that the name of the bloke that I just hit with a staff?
General carnage.
She's going to raise her shield. And she casts aid. So
Adrian
everyone,
suddenly appeared.
all of us within, all of us receive an extra 5 maximum and current hit points.
Okay.
And now it does specifically say your spell bolsters your allies with toughness and resolve. I don't know if that includes me or not. I'll look that up in the meantime. But you guys get 5 extra hit points.
Cool. There's some temps in there.
Cheers,
Babs.
And apart from that, she's going to get into a position just slightly to the side, such that she couldn't be easily flanked. Because I
can't
still
be
think
easily
there's 2 in front and 2 behind, isn't there, roughly? So
Stay
she's just going
close.
to sort of strafe a little bit, such that
You
they're
can
all
do
in
that.
front of me.
To your left, over your left shoulder, is a collection of trumpeting automatas. So you can nestle in with them if you like, but it's going to be noisy. But they're,
Fine.
they haven't reacted quickly to the situation unfolding, but they are there. Okay, no worries. Anything else? Any minor actions? No. Any double attacks or anything like that?
No.
Okie dokie, lemon smoky. So from behind you, my good friend Theneus, apologies. You kind of hear a foot padding, and before you know it, the sound of a shout, and you can kind of feel an oppressive swinging axe coming in from behind you. You are sadly being flanked, so this individual is going to roll with advantage, which is not great. It is a 14.
It's a hit.
It is a hit, and he is going to do 6 damage to you.
6 damage.
Oh, you've got a pencil, have you seen?
I have 2 pencils, neither of them are spare.
I'm using neither. I know that I yours.
Is that one sharp enough? You can have this other pencil if you like. Cool. That's all he does for now. But so somewhere behind the trumpeting noises and from behind Elantrix, there is the other individual. Probably only you can see this Elantrix because everyone else is engaged in some form of combat. Charging down the hill towards this collection of automata comes this huge individual, and he basically just swings his axe into the general melee of the group. It's incredibly loud and noisy, and you can vaguely understand all these trumpeting noises and the argument that's ensuing from amongst all the automata. So it's even more maddening for you because you're getting tidbits of conversation, which is basically about these 3 small, round automata not really knowing what's going on and not really understanding human interactions and thinking this is all quite funny.
A mating ritual.
And yeah, some kind of strange mating ritual,
Yeah.
and pointing at things. Somebody saying, "Ow, this meat gets hot, doesn't it?" And the large triangular creature seems to be observing very heavily, but hasn't done anything yet. But you notice that in each of its 3 triangular, upside-down triangular faces, there is an arm that comes out and holds a spear. It suddenly seems to squat down and make a more aggressive stance. This individual charges in and just throws an axe at it, somehow manages to miss you all and embeds this axe somewhere in the middle of you. And it's confirmed to all 3 spherical creatures they are currently in some form of combat.
And so this is a 5th creature that we didn't previously.
No, there's 3 spheres, 1 triangular creature, and the
This is the 4th.
This was a 4th baddie.
4th baddie comes in and swings his axe.
Makes a complete hash of it.
Yep.
It's a complete hash of it.
Yeah.
In return, this triangular automata is going to lash out at him.
We got the squad.
Yo, boy!
I don't know how the bowl has been reduced to such levels. They're disgusting.
Because they're crisp.
Crisps.
I mean, they could be scrotum cheese flavored. They're
They
crisp.
might be.
I'll eat them.
They might.
With their crisps.
See.
I'm gonna eat 'em.
They're crisp.
Well, you know what I'm bringing next week? Homemade.
Homemade!
I don't know what you eat. Yeah.
Amazing.
To the world that I have scrotum cheese.
Wow.
Good lord. So springing out of this,
We need
uh,
Carl back. He's a sobering influence on us all. I'm sure of it.
this upside down triangular automata, all 3 of these spears start lashing out towards this individual.
3 spears?
3 spears,
Oh
one
my
in each
gosh,
hand.
I thought freaking, what was he called? Darth Maul was awesome.
Absolutely.
This guy's another level, isn't
It
he?
starts lashing out of this thing. As far as you know, none of them seem to hit, but there's just so many attacks are flailing out of this thing. And it kind of goes into full defense mode and starts flailing spears towards him. It's definitely caught his attention, shall we say, and the 2 are kind of having a duel between the 2 of them as combat ensues. With that, we're going back up to the turn order. Wesley, you are up.
Oh, what a hero! Do we have one guy in combat with Thanaeus? He's just been hit with somebody and I
That
forgot
is
to intercept
true.
because I was looking for a pencil. Is he in more danger than I am?
Thanaeus has been hurt.
Sorry, sir. I'm on the pencil hunt. And I forgot to use my reaction.
Thanks for the save, Wesley.
I'm going to charge to save Thanaeus.
Nice. You don't have to charge very far because he's right next to you.
That's fine.
Yeah, so he's got somebody, so he's wedged in between 2 individuals.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, can I go around to try and get a form of a flanking bonus?
Hit points.
Is there a way
Yes.
that I can get to a side that?
I've just used
So
that.
you could probably flank the further uphill of the 2. So they are currently flanking, if you imagine the conga line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the conga
This
line
is going
goes
to get very
leader,
messy.
Yeah.
Wesley,
Yes.
other bandit type
Yeah.
individual. So what you could do is go slightly uphill and flank that in the conga line.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
that's good. Let's do
Cool.
it.
Okay.
Does that give
Flank
Thanaeus flanking as well?
against that individual?
Yes,
yeah.
let's take him down.
He would actually be, because he'd get disadvantage if he was being flanked, so he'd actually just be neutral.
Let's not do that then.
But that's still better.
That is true. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
According
Thanks,
to page
DM.
204 of the player handbook, I
Yes.
can target myself with 8. Just
Can
to
you?
be clear.
What about reactions? Specifically, sorry. Just use my words. The bonus action of, or the reaction of fighting style interception.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good enough for me. Attack with the warhammer.
Nice.
Do I get advantage, right? With a oh, that was good because the first was an oon. Second was give me the plus stats, please. Oh, it's gone. Come back. If I roll it again, I can look at the previous one. Right, I don't want a 21. I wanted. Oh no, it was an 8. It was plus 6. All right, cool. So it's 14 to hit was the first one.
Yeah, we'll go. It's a goer.
Whack. That's for 6.
Nice.
I'm gonna whack him once more. For an 18,
Yeah, I'll
I'm going to
hit.
damage him. For 10, and I'm also going to use a spell. Every time I hit with a thing, I can cast Divine Smite. So I can use Divine Smite. I can expend a spell slot after I've used a melee weapon,
Nice.
and I've hit a creature. So I
Nice.
shall also Divine Smite him, which is an
Nice.
extra 2d8s. Where if the d8, that is a d8. So that's 7 plus 5. And on top of that, 12 more damage.
Ooh,
And then that's me over.
Done.
I
12
need to
more.
expend a spell slot.
Yeah, you absolutely hammer into this guy twice, and then what does this smite look like?
Strikes a pose.
Stress pose.
Because you have to take the hammer,
Yeah.
just lean in and raise it. And it just happens.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
just
see it.
happens.
It's
You
one of those
can't see
things.
it.
If you
Oh!
if you look at
My
it,
credibility!
yeah, you have to turn away. You have to believe, you know. Seeing is believing sometimes, or not believing. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Not
That's
seeing
not
is
happening.
believing.
Not seeing is believing. Yeah. That's what you need. It's in the handbook.
It's in
Trust
the
me.
handbook.
It's in the field
Um,
manual.
Despite all of that, he's taken a significant amount of damage, so he doesn't seem best pleased about that. So well done. He's definitely winded at this point. He's still going strong, still got a lot of fight in him, but you'd say he was winded at this point. Theneus, you're in the conga line.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the conga line. We all do the conga. In front of you, leader. Behind you, another bandit. Behind that is
Wesley.
Wesley.
Right.
So you have flanking on the person behind you, but either way, you don't have. You just have regular hits now,
Yeah.
so you won't have advantage.
Just out of interest, this staff, what I have,
Mm-hmm. The staff, what you is.
I've got an ability, see, that I can imbue a weapon
Yeah.
with an extra magical strike strength. Would that still count for the ranged spell attack?
I wouldn't
Does
have
it fit?
thought
Does it affect
so.
ranged weapons?
It just says, as a bonus action, imbue a weapon to strike for 1d6 extra damage of your chosen type.
Don't think it with a ranged spell attack because
Right.
you're casting a spell
Yeah.
actively. So I
It's
wouldn't give it
magical
ranged spell
damage.
attack. Yeah, but it's still it's the
Okay,
same as
yeah.
like using a wand or anything
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
fair
So
enough.
it's,
Well, I'm going
it's a
to...
magic ability in its own right, so it wouldn't. You probably won't be able to.
There's not enough wands in D&D, are there? They're obviously not cool.
Zap.
Even
Another
Harry
wand.
Potter being this global phenomenon. Nobody wants a wand in D&D.
Well, it's just a
do they?
little stick, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. They're a
I
bit...
want a big
I
star.
like a
Yeah.
one. Dual wielding wands. That's what you need. Zap, zap. That's what I'd be at. Wait until my next character. Zap.
Oh, zap. Zap you.
This episode has suddenly become very camp.
I'm fine with it.
Right, so what I
Called
forgot,
Periwinkle Jones.
what I forgot to
You've already met Periwinkle
Back
Jones.
Periwinkle Jones. Good lad.
what I forgot to do, I'm going to do it now. As I've got hold of this staff like this, you'll see me sort of wince, grip the staff slightly tighter, and it will sort of glow red for just a fraction. I've got to take d6 damage, and that's okay. That's just a 1. That's nice. So that's 1 damage, and that imbues the staff with 1d6 extra damage.
Nice.
And I'm going to smack the leader bloke in the face with it.
Do you have a melee weapon already stored on your character sheet?
I do.
Roll that, exactly the same, but add an extra 2 to it.
Okay, that would be my whip. Right.
You have a whip, do you?
I do have a whip. Yeah.
A whip.
Okay, so I'll use that as my.
In a whip.
Whip. Cool whip.
Oh no, that's the wrong
Has
one.
anyone watched The Dial of Destiny? The
Yes.
new Indiana Jones movie. Got pretty crazy. Thought it was okay though.
It was.
Rich's reviews.
I can
Crazy.
agree
Was
with
okay.
that. It was okay.
Alright, it was entertaining.
I like this is
Got
happening during
pretty
combat.
crazy.
So the
Is Wesley saying
first
this?
one
Yeah.
is my adding to the hit on it.
Yeah, add +2.
Add +2, so that's gone.
It was
She wouldn't do
15.
that.
I was
15
was
plus
peeping.
2, that's 17.
That's going to hit.
17 to hit.
Can you roll me 1d6 and add 2 to it?
1d6.
And you attacking the leader or the guy behind you?
Leader.
Leader.
So that's 2 plus 2 and plus d6 for my
Yeah.
magical.
Plus 2.
So that's 4 plus 2, that's 6 damage.
6 damage.
So that's a
Thank you.
smack of bludgeoning damage.
It's not bludgeoning, it'll be
It's not-
slashing.
Slashing damage.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of
Oh, because it's
lots of sharp,
spiky.
sharp
Oh.
objects on the end.
I'll
And
follow
rival.
that. I'll follow that up with the same again.
Yeah, do it again.
Oh, this time it's 19 plus whatever. it was.
21.
21
nice.
to hit,
That'll hit.
and it's a d6.
D6 plus 2.
D6 plus 2 is a 6 this time, so that's 8 plus another d6. That's another 5, so that's 13 on the second slash.
Nice. Yeah, this big barbed object kind of stabs at him. He's getting pretty wounded now. He's still up, he's still fine fit, but he's definitely blooded in the torso area as this thing keeps jabbing into him. And he's going to swipe right back at you. As he's doing that, you start to see that he starts to lose control of what he's doing, and he just starts swinging this axe repeatedly, getting very angry. In doing so, he's going to get advantage on his rolls
Frenzy?
for now.
Frenzy!
Um,
I'm gonna attempt to aid in this.
yeah, that's
getting
fine.
in with the shield.
That is going to be 23 to hit, which I
That'll
assume will do the deed.
Papa's here, don't worry.
Papa,
Papa Wesley.
I'm in trouble deep. Which is going to be, that's a good job you did intervene, because that is going to be 15 slashing
That's
damage.
a lot of slashy damage.
Sweet, I can reduce it by 1d10 plus 3. Let's hope we get a good roll. It was a 9. So plus 3, that's 12 damage removed from that hit.
Which gives it a powerful, so it's
A
powerful
mere
3.
scratch.
So 3 damage. So the shield comes in, deflects the axe at the last minute, and it's just kind of
Dived in,
glancing below as it comes down.
Thank you, Wesley.
That is it though, that's my one reaction. I aided you as best I can, sir.
Sensing and hearing the shouts of their fearless leader, the second individual he's right next to you, Wesley. Well, no, because you kind of darted around the side. So there's this kind of looking down the hill. The person who's on your left. There's this collection of trumpeting creatures and elantrics in front of them. So he is going to kind of make a swipe at them, but he is going to do it recklessly. So he's going to end up charging in and start swiping. Oh no, and he is going to roll a 20. Oh, no. It's coming down at a triangular creature who's stabbing in the opposite direction. And he is going to do that amount of
going to kill
damage.
Tootie.
I like that guy as well.
Yeah.
So a huge axe
Anything
blow
controlling
comes
the other
down
ones by the sound of
on this triangular automata. You just hear creaking metal and smashing as it kind of comes down on top of him. Just going to note his hit points. And it smashes the top of this triangular creature almost entirety like an egg and just smashes it. He's still just about moving, but you can kind of see all the cogs whirring. It starts making a sad sound like a deflating balloon as gears and odd things start
Like
spilling
mending.
out of it.
We need Zola.
Um,
Zola could mend it.
Elantrix, you're up.
She's gonna. Are they all in combat melee, or is
Yeah,
any?
there's two kind of fighting in your collection of creatures,
Okay.
mostly aiming at this triangular things. They are distracted.
Are any of the two of them looking at one another?
The bandits, probably not. They're all just kind of slamming axes.
What
around
have you
them.
got up your sleeve? Make them leathers or something.
Throw their axes down.
No kiss.
That was my play.
Was it?
She's going to cast command. And before she does so she's going to quickly say, "Don't make me do this." And yeah, she's going to cast command. wisdom save on whichever two she thinks are most likely to kiss one another. She'd like to take
Who are the
two of the
candidates?
closer ones together.
It's probably going to be the two creatures on either side of this mass, the two berserkers on two bandits, should we say, on either side of this trumpeting mass, because the other two are in a conga line, so there's going to be a lot of metal and teeth in between.
Okay, well, I guess the robots don't have tongues, to my knowledge.
No, but they do have faces.
Okay, she's going to specifically command the word tongue
Tongue, nice.
to
Yeah. I'm fine with this.
in a seductive fashion.
Yeah. With no real target as to what.
She, yeah, she.
You can exclude yourself from this.
It's
No,
gonna
she's
just in
stepping
case
quite.
on-
You could have
No,
died.
she's absolutely stepping away. Yeah. She's making sure there's the best chance possible that they're gonna.
There's a powerful 9. For
That
wisdom
won't be
saving
enough,
throw.
I'm afraid. So
Yeah.
let the tonguing begin.
Let the time begin. Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Oh, it's going to be fan fiction later.
Okay, then she just takes a few steps away, and as she's doing so,
Giggly.
she wants to say to the sort of leader, she's like, "You're dying. This is not worth it. There'll be easier targets than us.
He's
Plus, you're friends."
at this point he is red in the face and screaming, like he's not really making much sense. He's got blood all down his front. He's obviously been barbed quite heavily. However, yeah. So the
Get out of
individual
that one.
further up the hill, are one of these trumpeting creatures. Kind of just has a strange look about him. Doesn't quite kind of see what's going on. And kind of just starts walking forwards into this mass of trumpeting creatures towards the bandit downhill, who is raging and he's just kind of slashing. And as the axe comes down, he just grabs hold of his head and starts trying to put his tongue in his mouth, just licking his face and just generally trying to lick his face. So yeah, that's what he does. That's quite all right.
Distracting.
It's very distracting.
However, Wesley, the person right next to you, being quite heavily hit by you, is going to turn around and take a swing at you. Again, red in the face. He's going to try and do it as hard as he possibly can, which is going to be it is a 19 to
It
hit,
hits.
which is going to be a. Ooh, it's not a big hit, so that's going to be 5
That's my 10 point
slashing.
hit points gone. Perfect. I feel great.
This triangular creature with these two hulking, kissing, tonguing individuals coming on them.
Did the other one comply willingly? Have they both been commanded?
Well, one is
Anyone's
tonguing and the
declined.
other one is kind of being embraced.
I believe he's compliant with this.
You paint your own world. What is happening?
Definitely, there's love hearts all around.
However, this inverted pyramidal structure, which is now cracked quite heavily, these kind of gears
So,
spilling out, there's bits of ticker tape kind of coming.
Little android thing is directly below the two of them that are
That's
over the
true.
top of it.
Yeah.
I like the concept that you've written a whole backstory, and two of them actually have a secret love for one another.
You hit upon something. When you're alone as a bandit,
Yeah.
a lot of lonely, cold nights out here. Yeah.
These are layered characters. These
They
bandits.
These are
These are layered.
They seem
Yeah.
rough on the outside, but deeply we all just want to be loved.
Yeah.
So,
Brokeback banditry.
this triangular creature that's heavily destroyed, if you like, just has one limb come out. The other two are heavily cracked. It starts crawling away from these tonguing creatures best it can. So it starts moving way out from the combat into the rocky outcrop. And
Why do I keep
the
thinking
spherical
of
creatures
Claptrap?
don't really seem to know what's going on. They're kind of just watching these two individuals in this strange embrace. One of them started poking the kind of fish meat that's around. You do feel a strange kind of tugging on your robe, and you look down and one of them is just pulling the kind of end of your robe. They seem quite lost now their larger creature is moving on. Wesley, you're up.
Wesley's gonna join the threesome. I need to save this
Bow,
wheeling.
bow, bow. You're going to need like slow jazz. so you can-
I've heard about this.
I need to save this wheeling little creature.
Oh,
It looks in pain.
it is in pain.
So hopefully I'm uphill and they're downhill, or am I downhill and they're
They're
uphill?
kind of on the same. They're kind of on over your left-hand shoulder. They're kind of just there, crawling away from you. So they are trying to crawl away. Just in when you look over, you see this strange embrace of these two people.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's tongues involved.
Looks
And-
fun. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, they're having a great time.
Yeah, looks like good fun. I need to get involved. Not in that way. Or maybe I will other side. when I get
1,000
there.
XP.
1,000 XP. Roll a d12.
I am going to charge into the fight.
Nice.
But I'd like to subdue them. I mean, it'd make
Sounds
more
like the
sense.
best thing you do is throw a bucket of water over it.
Yeah, it makes sense to attack them, but I don't want to attack them. I want to try and, while they're off balance and in love, I'd like to join the dog pile and then try and knock them both to the floor.
Okay, so you're going to sidestep. So you are currently in combat with somebody, but everyone's so close together that you can probably just reach over and hit one of them if you wanted to.
I want to jump on them.
Yeah.
Like dog pile, as kids.
Oh, you want to like almost grapple.
Yeah, I want to grapple them. I want to try and take two of them out of the
One day.
fight for a turn, get them to the floor.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm wondering if that's a possibility.
Yeah, you can use like an athletics check in that case.
Oh,
Or
pretty
if you're going to
athletic.
grapple, then you could do. Let's do an athletics check then. You're just going to try and.
It was a 10.
It was a
I'm
10.
distracted by this beautiful moment. I don't know what it is.
Beautiful
I've
moment.
never seen this.
It's going to be enough.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's going to
good.
be enough.
They're very distracted.
So one of them is just kind of really confused what's going on. The other one is full kind of tongue embrace. You
Yeah.
kind of jump over on top
Yes.
of them. How
Yeah,
are you
yes.
kind of you just grabbing them by the heads?
Yeah, just going to jump in and hopefully the momentum we're just going to fall to the floor. And
Yeah, I'm happy with
I
that.
just want to try and distract them for a round.
Yeah. I'm happy
I mean,
with
they
that.
were
You can do
distracted. I
that.
don't know how it works. How long?
One round.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's good then.
Mm.
I don't know what this will achieve, but maybe it
No
will.
worries.
I don't know.
They're
Phineas.
They're prone. at
I'll
least.
Yeah, that's
carry
good.
on pressing the attack.
Yeah, you are sadly now flanked,
Oh, sorry.
which means you'll be on disadvantage.
Right. Well, I'm still going to press the attack.
Yep, that's absolutely fine.
So, wallop. Oh, it's a natural 20!
Disadvantage.
I'm on disadvantage.
So you
Well,
just
that's
have
a
to roll
good-
another 20.
That's a good start. Yeah, roll it.
It's a 15, so it's 21.
Nice.
Still gonna hit.
Still gonna hit. Still absolutely gonna hit. So now you're doing D6 plus 2, and then you know the D6 for your doodar.
D6. D6 plus that is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus a D6.
Maths, the board game.
That's plus a 6. That is 11 slashy, stabby.
Nice. So yeah, you're just gonna keep poking him in the same chest hole, slowly digging through his ribcage.
As a quick note, just 'cause I was checking this one, is that,
You're looking at kissing again.
I was
Yeah.
looking at kissing, and I think flanking only is a benefit of the flankers rather
Oh,
than
it
being
doesn't give
also
you
a disadvantage
disadvantage.
if you're being flanked. You see what I mean?
No worries.
Well,
You
she
can-
rolled great.
You can also gain.
So does that mean I
Oh,
get
thank
my,
you.
For being a rules
does
law.
that mean I
Thank
get
you.
my natural 20 for my first dice roll?
No. You do get a second attack though.
Right.
No takesy backsies.
No Dixie bags.
I don't even know what inspiration is. I've
Do you
never
have
had it.
stakes
There we
with
go.
it? Yeah.
Okay, this time.
The dice
it's,
do whatever I tell them to do.
This time it's a 17 to hit.
We'll hit.
Right, D6.
I'm digging a hole.
That's 3
right through
plus
your
2
chest.
is 5. That's another D6, which is another 5. That's 10 more slashy, stabby,
21.
hurtinessness.
21 damage in a round. Wow. He is looking very unwell.
Very unwell.
He is still giving it all he's got. He's red in the face. He's getting angry. He's swaying this axe around. But he looks almost blood drunk at this point. He's looking very, very unwell. He is going to make a swipe at you though, and he's giving it all he's got, and it's not going to be enough. He is not feeling too hot. However, one of the other individuals, he's currently getting his face licked. And has just had a Wesley jump on top of him. He's completely bedraggled and unknowing what's going on. He tries his best to kind of swap. He drops his axe at one point. He picks it back up again. He's getting generally kind of hounded by yourself. Elantrix. Yeah, what up?
Caught by the Wesleys.
By the
By the
Wesley.
Wizards.
We're going to walk over to the Axeman. Does he still look kind of frenzied?
Which one, the leader? Yeah, absolutely. He's very, very unwell. He's got a big old pulpy hole in his
I
chest.
think at this
She's
point
going
you could probably
to-
blow
He's
him
trying his
over.
best to
Mm.
flip.
Pulpy hole.
She's going to
Pulpy
cast.
hole. The name of my punk band.
Is she?
Pulpy hole.
No. She's going to say one last time. You still have a chance to survive. Drop your arm.
He's just out of it. He's very bleeding, but also still raging. So he's not.
Fine.
Really
She actually draws her club.
Fine.
She draws her flanged dragon winged club.
Nice.
And
It's the name of my debut album.
natural 20.
Oh, I've been so many of those tonight. So many of those. You're probably not going to have to roll. Do you want to describe how you destroy this individual?
Flanged wing club in the face, I would have.
I mean, that is it, but it leaves the perfect, with the natural 20, it leaves the perfect indentation of the dragon's wing on his face. In just on the side. And, yeah. Knocks him, barely follows through, and with a thud, almost dies on his knees before falling.
He's a big guy, so you're going to hear it, right? He's going to thud down the floor. After that, we have... so, from the behind you, Thanaeus, you hear a bit of a kind of noise of recognition. You say, "Huh?" And as that happens, you feel a presence leave from behind you. He's rabbiting. He's going to run off. So the individual behind you starts running off. If you wanted to, you could probably take an attack of opportunity. He doesn't seem very clever. He's not doing this properly. So you can take an attack of opportunity if you want.
Just going to fire the staff
Yeah, you
at him
give it a go.
as he's retreating
You
back
give it a
just
go.
for the fun of it. Right, it was a D10, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You got to roll to hit first, which is D20 plus 2. D20 plus 2, brr.
That's 15 plus 2, 17.
That's it. Now on D10.
D10. Just for the fun of it. It's not going to do him any real harm, so. That is an 8.
Ooh, not bad.
I just like the idea that as he's running away and boom, slams into the small of his back and sends him rolling
It
down
does
the hill.
jettison him forwards. It kind of does a kind of blasted 10 feet away from you. Again, you can't really see what it is. It's this kind of like, you feel the force of it. It makes a similar noise to that, and you're just blown away.
I hope he lets out a little squeak as he goes.
The final bandit is still licking. He's still licking hard. How long does command last for?
Oh, just one round.
Just one round.
Yeah.
So he's not. He's licking now for the fun of it.
He's got a taste for it now.
That being said, he's still. However, he's still being grappled by Wesley, so he's kind of like licking, not really sure what's going on.
Or was the guy who ran away the guy who was being snogged?
No, that was the
no,
second
he was
one.
the
different.
second
Sorry,
one.
yeah.
So there are two kind of engaged in the general melee. So we've got one dead, one ran away.
The leader's still with us.
No,
He's
toast.
What a baby!
He's got a lovely dragon wing imprint in his face.
On his
there.
face.
Multiple holes in his chest.
The spherical creatures who are just kind of observing you guys kind of in a dog pile on the floor. You do feel the odd prod and poke because these creatures are quite
okay,
curious.
yeah.
They're just kind of like poking you occasionally. You notice that one, you now know as number one, starts imitating the licking and just starts grabbing hold of number two. And number two's kind of trying to bat him off as the two are kind of grinding up against one another.
They still got the lumps of meat on there.
They've dropped them on the floor.
Oh,
they
right.
sat on them for a while, if you remember, because they refused to move.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that's why you got in this situation, because they refused to move. The triangular creature is very unwell and starts pulling himself away. Still seems conscious, in a manner of speaking, but yeah, very unwell. Wesley, you're up. You can now drop turn order and drop combat if you wish, because you're currently grappling, but you think the fight is now dissipated to carnage.
I'm not sure about what happens in these types of fights, so I shall continue until I see otherwise. Because I do not.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I would keep fighting until somebody was like, stop, or I'm like, I don't know what's going on. We just started a fight, and I joined in.
So you still grappling? Or
Yes.
are you going to actually hit somebody?
No, I'm going to hit him.
You're going to hit him? Yeah.
Just going to hit him.
The liquor or the licked?
The licked.
The licked. Yeah, the licked of the two.
Unarmed
That's fine.
strike. Flailing at him on the floor.
I'm going to punch him
I'm
in
going
the
to punch him in a couple of times. 16 for a punch.
Oh,
hit.
that's a
That'll
good hit.
That's a good hit.
4 damage.
Bonk.
I'll punch him again. It's an 18
That'll hit.
for another 4 damage.
Nice.
Oh, it's just
Just
straight.
literally, you hear him a dunk and another dunk as you punch this guy. Sometimes you.
He's just flat 4 for some reason. My unarmed strike. Not even a D4.
Strength
just
plus 1. Strength plus 1. So you strength
Yeah,
plus 3.
strength 3. Yeah.
Yes, that'll
That's a
be.
flat 4.
It's only monks that get D4. And Thanaeus, there's a dog pile of individuals. These spherical creatures are in a mixture of grinding, trying to stop being grinded, and poking Wesley repeatedly.
I don't think we were grinding on the floor. Were we?
I'm going to march up to
General grinding. Angle grinding.
Sorry, it's a mental image. I can't get rid of that.
No, it's canon. It's canon.
I'm going to stride up to the general melee and take the pointy end of my staff,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to stick it up under the chin of the guy that Wesley's just punched in the face.
Yeah. That's
Just
fine.
literally like, your move, sunshine. And I'm just going to literally just go up there, put it there, right against the up against his Adam's apple, and said, "Do you really want to carry on with this?"
He's going to take in his surroundings. He's still got a wet face. He's going to take in his surroundings. He's still kind of got this axe held at this point, but he's prone, if you like. They're in a dog pile. He's just going to
I can put my foot on his chest if you
Yeah,
like.
he's just
for
going to
effect.
take his hands off his axe. He's just going to go, I yield! I yield!
Elantrix, if we're out of order now,
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to be, yeah.
Elantrix going to walk over to him, and she's going to give him a kiss, and then she's going to say, "A little less tongue next time," and then time to go home and walk away.
She's a mighty fine lady, I'll give her that. The other one who's kind of come round the liquor, has kind of come round, looks kind of shy at his friend.
It's going to be an awkward conversation around the
But
campfire.
also will drop his axe as well. So yeah, you find yourself with these two individuals who are yielding, are quite willing to kind of yield. A collection of 3 spherical creatures who seem quite indifferent to the fact their triangular overlord has just been mauled. Just kind of looking around at all of you. The general angle grinding has stopped. And this pyramidal shaped creature is only barely alive. When you look at it, it's kind of hard to behold. There's some kind of whirring cogs and ticker tape and something that's within it. You start to see kind of like a bellows that you think might have had this trumpeting sound. It seems to go across a series of kind of pulleys, but it's very, very unwell.
It's very sad.
So still got my staff at this guy's throat, and say, right, I believe you two. I believe your friend went that way.
Unless you stop them, they'll both get up and run.
Are they running towards Steltmire's cavalcade of...
No, they'll go uphill. So
Excellent, they're gonna run that way.
They'll
Yeah.
run uphill. You do have a deceased body with you, and
Loot it.
Loot the corpse.
He better have 300 gold in his pocket. Or I'm gonna
exactly 300 gold. No, he has a very large axe on him. None of his clothes are worth anything. He does have a lot of gold bangles on, unlikely his, but he's wearing a lot of gold bangles on one wrist. They are huge because he has a very large wrist, but you can slip them over his hand if you so wish. He, looking upon his person, he has a relatively ornate knife. It looks elven-made ritual knife that looks very nice. But other than that, not a great deal of coin.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Trash. Throw that away. Oh, look at the axe.
The axe is a woodcutter's axe, but it would be similar to using a great axe.
Ah, crap. Throw that away.
That knife of any interest to you?
The knife isn't anything.
It's very ornate.
Can you make a history check for me?
What a great axe.
14.
14. It's of value, as in monetary value, but it's an ornate blade that probably originated from one of the crafts areas in Equa. It was likely a gift. It's kind of a gift knife that you would give somebody who perhaps gained a rank in the military, or it's likely a family gift, not kind of a state gift. So it's worth a bit of coin. You'd probably say it's probably worth about 100 gold pieces, but it doesn't really have any kind of offensive value other than as a knife.
She's going to give it to Thanaeus. I told you I'd pay you.
Thank you. I'll weigh it up. Slip it in my belt.
200 for a great axe. No need for this.
Thank you.
Trash.
Trash, grey iron. Other than that, there's gold bangles. There are
You can have the bangles.
There's 7 of them. They're gold. Other than that, there's no hallmarks or anything like that. They look relatively pure. They're not made by elven hands. They're probably made by some human hands somewhere. They're all 7 are probably worth 50 gold pieces in all. So they're not particularly kind of priceless. They're low grade gold metal, but you can sell if you so wish, or wear them.
I see no value in these things.
No.
You've got them, Thanaeus?
No, I'll leave them.
Oh, I'll take them.
As Wesley sees no value, I see value.
I was gonna
Wesley sees no value.
leave them for the bandits to come and pick up, and hopefully that'll stop them from following
They are
us
so
around.
enlarged that Elantrix, you probably can't even wear them. So you have to carry them. Yeah, they're large.
Extremely
They're
large.
made for a large
Could you put them in as hoops?
individual.
Like an Essex girl.
Yeah, you could
Massive
probably do that.
hoops.
I knew a gnome once. He had this bag. Okay, well, in that case,
You
if
do
they're
make an obnoxious jangle as you walk now.
well, if they're ridiculously sized, you'll probably leave them.
Yeah, they're sellable. They have monetary value, but yeah, they are on the large side. They probably slip off your wrist. They're made for a large male individual.
As a half elf, I don't have particularly large wrists myself.
You could probably wear them comfortably, but again, they're going to jangle a lot there on the large side.
So, yeah, I'm a stealthy type. I don't really want
Yeah, probably would be a slight inconvenience to you.
jangle.
Okay.
Ritual.
What about our packs? Can we put them in our packs?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, she'll
Take
take
it as loot.
them in our packs then.
Okay.
The right buyer might just accept it as gold, because they're of sufficient quality that somebody would probably just accept it as gold.
Okay. I've added
Buy some
that.
meal.
Jingly jangly. I'm gonna go and pick up this broken trumpeting triangle.
Yeah. Its faces are kind of falling away from one another.
I don't understand mechanics, so I will attempt a lay on hands. I'm gonna try and give it 10 hit points.
Yeah, you give it a go. So you lay on hands, you try and heal it.
We'll try and heal it 10 hit points.
Nothing.
Elantrix is going to try and stop him.
You can do that unless you're resisting.
If I can attempt to intercept before we
Intercept.
cast it. That won't work.
You have not seen my magical hands.
This creature has no soul.
What do you mean? Does he disagree with you? Please translate.
For you to heal, you must heal that lives. This is not alive.
Define alive.
It does not bleed.
Spurt.
Yeah.
Little spurt of oil.
There is no liquid. It's
Always no liquid. We can eat.
slight amount of grease, but other than that, no liquid.
What can we do to help it?
There is, however, a fair amount of turning.
Oh, a lot of turning. Yes.
Lots of turning.
Yes, well, a lot of turning. Any hot in there?
Not as much as you would
A
imagine.
little bit wet. Great.
A small amount.
A small amount. That's a lot of turning. That is.
A lot
yeah.
of turning. Yeah.
I can't leave it here. Is the cavalcade? Can we see the cavalcade?
Yeah,
Still
so
Myers.
it's relatively close to where you are. You'd probably say you're probably about 20 minutes walk down the hill from where you are.
How big is this boy? Or carry him.
General weight, you think it'd be like carrying a human. Like that's the kind of weight
Well, I mean,
we're talking.
Sam carried Frodo up the mountain, so I
he
could do
did.
this. Yeah.
Height-wise, it's probably a similar height, just shorter than you. So somewhere between a halfling and dwarf height.
Okay, Cam.
I'll give you a hand with it. I'll help you carry it if you like.
I can't leave this little
No, you're right.
fella. He's
You notice that one of the three spherical
Sweet.
creatures has actually started to pull the ticker tape a little bit and just kind of like start
what's a bastard?
winding out. They're like holding up to the light, and you translating, you realise this creature's looking for his soul on that ticker tape.
Oh.
Doesn't seem to be able to find anything. And one of them just starts putting it in his mouth and generally just confused.
I'll give you a hand. I'll take one end.
Yeah. I'm gonna help him over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick him up. It is still moving, and you do notice that one of its three arms kind of moves. It's like a ball socket joint somehow. You actually can see the inside, so you can see how it works on the inside, and there's little notches, and it can only move. You notice it can only move in certain articulated ways. There's kind of 5 axes of freedom, if you like. But other than that, it's quite compliant. It's dropped all 3 of the spears. Looking at the spears themselves, they have no particular value. It's kind of just forged iron, so it's not going to be. You can use it as a spear, but that's its only value. There's a collection of you and trumpeters.
We'll head off down towards the cavalcade, carrying this,
You done well.
half carrying, half assisting this shuffling robot thing.
Number 1 does not want to carry the meat.
Is that one of the eyeballs?
With that, we'll take a short break. Short break, everybody.
We're back where we
I
started.
thought meat was back on the menu.
Back on the menu, boys.
Not now.
We'll take a short break for roughly 6 of your Earth minutes.
We are technical balls again. No.
Technical balls.
Whatever. What's it called? Yeah, 5 feet of you with an attack. You can use your reaction to reduce the damage.
When
so
it hits.
it's when it hits, it's not after the
Before
damage
damage.
is rolled. Yes, it's before
When it
damage.
hits, before
There we
damage.
go. Before it hits, yeah.
Oh, hello.
Perfect.
Crisp of Christ.
Crisp of Christ.
Body of Christ.
Oh, no.
Catholic school.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Body of Christ. Can't eat a Pringle. I feel good about that.
No?
It's like the Jaffa cake, the full moon, half moon.
Yeah, it's the same
kind of
thing. You can't
yeah.
eat Jaffa cake without doing
Yeah.
the full moon, half moon potato plates.
You know what I got back on the other day?
Is that-
Talking about posh Jaffa cakes. Do you remember the Lebkuchen? The Christmas.
Leberkuchen. I love Leberkuchen.
Yeah.
Oh,
With the
yeah.
apricot filling.
It's
I
like
picked some-
cinnamony.
Yeah, I picked them up the other day. I might have to get some next time.
I used to work with a bunch of Germans,
Lid.
and Christmas was the best.
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
All
Very
the
good.
stuff. Leberkuchen. Yeah, I used to do that again.
Don't like a standard apricot filled jam.
I'll take any. I'll take
Right.
anything.
Lid.
And a Stollen. I'll have a Stollen as well.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a
Or
stollen.
glue wine. You had glue wine.
No. Maybe I'll cook. Maybe I'll bake
blue
one for
wine?
bake off at work. Stollen.
Bake off.
Glue wine.
Glue wine. It's
Like fermented PVA.
No, it's a bit like mulled wine.
Mm.
Fine.
Mulled cider's quite nice. Get
Yeah.
some scrumpy. Has to be scrumpy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't have. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do it
Oh,
with
yeah.
strong.
No, like
wrong
commercial
though.
shite.
It's got to be the proper stuff.
Yeah, you've got some scrumpy. Mulled cider's quite nice.
Mulled cider used to be our Christmas
Did it?
thing.
I
real
made
deal.
Yeah. Rizzle dizzle.
I made Somerset version of Welsh Rarebit the other day.
What's
using,
that?
Jesus.
Scrumpy. Welsh Rarebit? You never had Welsh
I've
Rarebit?
heard of it, but I've never
It's
eaten it.
kind of like cheese on toast, but you grate the cheese and mix it with a bit of ale and sometimes flour and
Yeah.
egg, depending on the recipe, and make it into a sort of paste, and then you stick it under the grill.
Well, if it's not Wagyu beef dripping, I'm not touching it. That's where I'm at now.
There's still some left.
I'm good, thank you
That's
very
all I
much.
eat.
I've eaten a lot. I've eaten a
That's
whole
all
bag
I
before I
eat.
come, you see.
In the car.
Yeah,
While
in the car,
driving.
yeah. Yeah, it's just crisp crumbs everywhere in there.
So, you have the mangled remains of a triangular automata. It's
Dragging
still
along
living.
with us.
Yeah. Number 1 is refusing to carry his meat. Number 2 and 3 seem to be confused what's
We
going
can't
on.
have any pudding then.
Yeah, number 2 is pulling the ticker tape out of the the triangular creature and reading it as far as you can tell. But you don't know if he's reading it or just passing it through. And number 3 has consumed some of said ticker tape. And that's where you find yourselves.
I'm going to pick up the cube of meat.
But you are carrying this
Oh,
triangular
yes,
creature as well.
check,
So you
carry.
probably could carry both. The cube
No.
of meat is a foot cubed of solid fish meat, as if you imagine like a foot cubed of tuna. It's quite a heavy object.
Well, I was
Not
gonna-
easy to hold.
What I was going to do was sort of pick up the cube of meat and just drop it on the top of the robot that's refusing
You
to
could
carry it.
probably do that, yeah.
Just there. Carry it. Carry.
Tunery meat starts filling his pipes.
Yeah, it's now part robot, part tuna. Tuna cube.
Tuna.
Tuna cube.
He could do with a tuna.
Oh, zing! If you didn't already have inspiration, you could have it for that. You notice if you take any kind of steps away, these 3 spherical automatas will kind of clank after you. They seem
the
to be
leader.
following you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't seem to know what they're doing, and occasionally they stop and threaten to wander off. So you're travelling slower than you would like, but they will generally follow your direction.
I'm trying to keep an eye out as well as we're walking along for other bandits.
Yeah, it's probably right to do so. You think you're about 20 minutes walk away from what you're now seeing as a fairly expansive camp. There are, from your vantage point here, you've noticed they've almost made a little bit of a structure around this camp. There are very large log walls that have kind of been put into the ground, if you like, to make almost like a fortification of sorts around the outside. It's not tightly bound, but you couldn't pass in between them. They've created gates to get in. and there are entranceways. There's one you can see on this side of an entranceway. They're kind of large log walls, if you like, are probably twice a human span, so they're kind of tall, probably about 12 foot in height. Where they kind of open out the gate, they do come outwards by kind of 15 feet, so they're obviously trying to funnel people towards entrances for whatever reason. You can see over them because you're on a hill, and you can see over mostly canvas-coloured tents are on the inside of various sizes. That's the expanse you see. You're starting to hear the noise from this distance now. You hear, believe it or not, trumpets, musical noises, kind of revelry, lots of people talking, occasionally a pop, and occasionally a bang, and yeah, that's kind of what you're hearing from where you are. So I imagine you're going to continue and travel down the hill.
Yep. Gonna head down the hill. I'd like to have a chat to Phineas quick on the way down.
Absolutely.
I would be obviously referring to the manual. And there are bureau bylaws, you know, to do with caster certification. And I do believe you have a magical weapon there, and I do not believe you may not have your certification for casting.
Right.
Do you have a certification?
I do not.
Are you aware of the SSOPs? Spellcasting Standard Operating Procedures?
No, I kind of just make it up as I go along.
You know, there
I kind
are-
of just pointed the thing at the guy and thought, bang, and it went bang.
We do have safety protocols for magical workplaces. This is where the SSOPs come from. To keep in line with the Bureau bylaws, this is where the certification is required. It says here in my field manual of notes if you would like to look.
Not right at this precise moment, no, as I'm carrying a robot. But are you able to certify me to be licensed to use this?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No. Tonight I'll have to be filling out magical uses reports, unfortunately.
As a reminder, here, Wesley,
Yes.
unlike perhaps at the Bureau, magic is illegal.
Well, that's because you haven't got a certificate, obviously.
Correct. Yes, you might.
You follow the bylaws. You are aware of the Bureau's bylaws?
Here we're fine
Yes.
talking in the wilderness, but around general populace, it is strongly discouraged to discuss magic as it is illegal.
If you
So-
don't have the certification.
So it would be a good idea to not have this conversation when other people can hear it.
How do I know if they're certified?
I will note it is illegal in the Elven territories. I do not know quite the
Well,
specifics of where we are exactly. So
it depends entirely on how much of an influence the Elven Kingdom has on the particular area that you happen to be in. I think the further out from civilization you get, the less likely somebody is to say, "Oi, you can't do that."
that is possibly true. Yes.
Around here, I'd say it's a fairly lawless area, despite how close we are to the wall.
You might be right.
And I would suggest that Mr. Stalkmeyer is probably utilising some form of magic in his machinations.
Is he certified?
He might well be, actually. He might well be the leading authority in the world on this stuff, for all we know.
Okay. Don't talk about magic.
Don't talk about magic. Don't refer to magic. Certainly don't casually drop it into a conversation that the person you're travelling with has a magic staff. The other person you're travelling with throws magic around like it's candies at a party. That
As
would
long
be
as you don't
bad.
get it out. Because there are safety procedures for magical workplaces, and if you're not certified, we cannot be using it indoors.
I would also like to point out that despite the fact that you are you certified?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've got the field manual.
I don't think that your certification would hold an awful lot of authority if you were to start throwing your magic around in public.
I don't plan to. I was just
keep
cautious
it-
because I
keep
know.
it.
I'll keep it down. I just wanted to check that people were using this stuff responsibly, because it can be dangerous.
Thank
You
you.
looked a little shaky on the trigger.
Well,
then. I just got a little confused.
I was
if you were-
surprised because I didn't really have time to practice with it. Now that I have a fair idea what it does, it doesn't seem to be something that's likely to go off bang without me asking it to.
I'll refer to the manual tonight before bed, and I will give you a rundown in the morning. Remember, rule 1 is not seeing is believing. Remember that one.
Right.
Close your eyes when shooting.
Point, close, shoot. Yeah, fair enough.
That's what. Can't remember the others. I need to refresh.
It's been a pleasure having you along, Wesley.
Just keeping it orderly and safe.
I appreciate that.
That's okay.
As you travel further down, you're travelling closer and closer. These kind of log walls start to block out the view of the camp behind as you kind of travel down this hill. You overhear a conversation. The conversation is in Elvish. And you hear an Elvish voice speaking fairly loudly. And in response, there's a fairly clipped, accented Elvish voice in response. You have encountered gnomes at this point. You can probably pick out the accent to be gnomish. A gnomish accent speaking in Elvish. And there's a kind of a fraught conversation going on between at least two individuals. As you kind of come out of this rocky outcrop, you obviously don't emerge immediately. You can kind of see a little bit what's going on. In the entranceway that's closest to you, there's a conversation going on with a small gathering of elves. There are 4 of them, and they're all dressed in white.
Oh, no.
And they're having a conversation with a gnome who seems quite disgruntled and a little bit hot under the collar, should we say. He sat behind a makeshift desk, and they're having this kind of fraught.
Can we shuffle back behind the nearest big enough rock to hide us?
Absolutely.
Are they augurs? In white? No,
that-
just as
Is that
just
the
these.
bunch from before?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, great. I'll have a quick
I
look.
think we left on good terms.
I'll have a quick look round the rock and make sure there isn't a strange man in a big hat anywhere
There's
near them.
nobody like that you can see. However, when you look round, there's a few of these individuals. There's actually 3 of them.
I'm only looking like that.
Just peeping.
Just peeping. I'm very stealthy.
Just have a little peep. Allow me.
Stealthy little peep. You're not going to see me. I
Uh,
don't care what you're about to say. You're not going to see me.
You're never going to see that. You are never going to see that.
Long distance. Very stealthy.
You'll notice that you've definitely seen these people before. You've seen the uniforms before. They're wearing pristine white robes. They're obviously of a very high status. One of them who you'd expect to see, you cannot see. So you'd expect to see an individual you know as Indomitus or Indomitus Galantus. He isn't with them. This looks like his entourage. They're having a fraught conversation with this gnome. You can just about pick it out if you're really listening. You pick out individual words that are being said. It's quite clear they're not being granted access. They're unhappy about this fact. The reason they're not being granted access is something to do with Stiltmire's stock.
Is it a gate?
It's not really
Or is it-
gated, it's kind of an individual having a conversation, and there's no physical gate, it's kind of an opening, but they are having this conversation with somebody behind a desk. You can't see beyond these kind of makeshift kind of log entranceway, so you don't know if there's anything barring the entry as you go in. You're kind of looking at it at a 45-degree angle, so you can't see down it.
And what are the fences like?
They're 12 foot tall. They're made of individual logs kind of stuck into the ground. And there are gaps between them, but not enough to squeeze through. They're probably about 6 inches across. So, yeah, they go around the perimeter. It's not being patrolled or heavily guarded as far as you can tell, so you could...
So there's nothing that's stopping these elves from just overpowering this guy and just marching in anyway.
Not from where you can see.
So
You
they're
are using-
respecting
and
his
all three of them are
authority.
armed as well, and you'd say they're armed with particularly nice weaponry. They're obviously, and you know this from when you've seen them before, they're very capable combatants. You're probably just, like I say, just on the fringe of being able to hear. You're picking up a conversation about Stiltmire Stark, about something about them not being granted access, but that's all you can kind of hear from now.
Should we wait it out?
I think that's a good idea.
Neither of the individuals seem happy with what's going on. But
We can't get past them.
Okay. Yeah, Elantrix is going to hide as best she can.
Yeah, I think.
And we're a decent distance away, but she's
Absolutely.
specifically going to take the hide action
yeah, go ahead.
badly, but just not good. She's not very good. I'm just going to hide over here! Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what that number was, but she's not going to get too close, knowing that she's not great at hiding at the
Are
moment.
we hiding or are we not hiding?
Quite clearly, Elandrix is not hiding.
What are you doing,
She's
Danez? Are you
about a
hiding?
foot taller than the rock.
Are you trying to hide? Does it
Oh,
look like
hiding.
you're attempting?
Right, yes, okay.
Okay, I'll
The
attempt.
jingling
You bangle and your
bangles in the
rucksack
back.
bang up against the rock.
How do you?
It probably doesn't help that there are at least 3 individuals that only communicate through loud trumpeting noises.
Well, they can trumpet off.
As you mentioned that, unless you're physically trying to stop them, now that they're this close, they will just kind of wander towards the encampment.
Well, I think we'll put the triangular one down and let him drag himself away if that's what he can do.
It will very slowly, I mean very slowly, crawl its
Yeah, I'm
way.
not going to let that one go.
No.
The other's fine. But one that's just been mauled to death, I think it's better if we carry it in.
Okay.
Because otherwise,
All
I can
right.
take it in. I don't know who these people are. What are you hiding from?
they know you know. They haven't seen you, have they?
Who? They?
They haven't. No.
Who are they?
They are elves. They are the authority.
They work for the Bureau.
Not that authority.
They're looking for us.
Yeah.
Me?
No.
Do they know
us.
Goric?
Well, you by association with us, but
Oh.
they don't know about you.
Do they
Yes.
know Goric?
I have no idea.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
But they are
they can't
looking-
know we're here.
They are looking for us, and we don't want them to know we're here.
What can I do?
Well, actually, yeah, you could get in there.
And do what? I forgot what we're here for.
It's probably a bad idea, actually.
We're looking for a stone.
There's a lot on the ground.
A
Stone.
magical stone, or a key, or a chime. We're looking for more of the life that we found before you didn't see it.
You're talking nonsense, yes.
There's,
Oh, yeah.
we're looking for. I'll take you through the story of the chime again, but
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, another child. Yeah,
Seisu,
chimes. They've come in.
yeah.
Anything else? What else?
You probably will trigger a memory at this
Yeah.
point. So when they're starting to talk about stones, and in particular about the chimes,
Yeah.
you probably have heard people discussing this. You don't know who these people are. It's often in Elvish, but you will. Do you speak Elvish?
Negative.
Negative. So you will have understood, if you like,
Yeah.
voices that you understand. Conversations around something to do with the gods and their powers, and so some of this does ring true to you as you're not hearing this for the first time. You feel
Yeah.
as you've listened.
I'm just confused to a stone and a chime.
That's
Is it a
fine.
resonant stone? Do you hit it and it chimes like other stones?
It might not be a stone. It's something of power, of great power, which seemingly has creates life
Oh.
in places that life shouldn't be.
Ooh.
We went to a spa, and in that spa we found bodies with plants growing from within. We found a latrine that came alive, teeming with plant life and anamorphized
Are you aware of the circle of life?
No.
So we're going to say yes. Okay. We can talk on this later because I don't know what to say.
The elf we're looking for's name escapes me. Rosset.
Rosset?
Rosset.
Rosset.
He had the stone.
I mean,
Oh, Rosset had the stone.
he could take the machine in. That would be a way in for him. What's happening with the little spheroids while we're hunkered
They
down?
kind of like
chatting this?
wander off. They don't go in a straight line because number 2 wanders off to the left a little bit, drops his meat for a while, seems to go in the wrong direction. Then number 3 will pick up his meat and try and carry it with his in the hope of getting some kind of reward. They generally bicker for a little while. While this is happening, they are seen by this collection, this small collection of elves, 3 elves and this gnomish individual. The gnomish individual seems to pull something out of his pocket and put it to his mouth, and when that happens, all 3 of these units look at him, pick up their meat, and in a singular line, just move in a singular linear fashion.
They're Pikmin. You play Pikmin? With the whistle? And you'll run off, do what you want. Good game. Get it. Nintendo there. Yeah.
The automata Pikmin start to carry these meats in a singular line, and they follow through. They follow each other through past this name. As that happens, he does look down at his desk, take a note of something, and continues his conversation. After much disgruntlement, they will just pass through this gate as you watch them. Nobody seems to have noticed you. They're kind of absorbed in their own conversation. After a very long conversation, you can just about make out one of the elves passes something over to this gnome. A lot of writing is done. He passes something back, and all 3 of them travel through this gate.
Oh no. Not all we needed.
Well, that's annoying.
Can anybody disguise self? I can't.
No. Felix could.
Yeah. I don't
No.
feel trustworthy of going in this place alone.
No, that's probably not a good plan anyway.
I'm not sure the
Now
way
what
of
do
this
we do?
world.
It's suddenly become an awful lot less straightforward. If they recognise us in there, we're in deep.
Wesley,
Yes?
this challenge may be beyond you, but
Yes.
do you think you could carry this guy
Oh, easily, yes.
to the door,
Yes,
speak with this gatekeeper,
certainly.
convince them to let you through, and somehow get him off the gate so we can come in too?
Oh.
I don't want him to see us. I'm worried. These elves are smart.
Is it an elf on the gate or is it a gnome on the gate?
It's a gnome. Yeah, stuck behind a little makeshift desk. There's a big pile of paper on it, a bag of something.
If you can get in and find a way to get us in without anyone seeing us get in, that would be my preference.
I don't trust myself.
I mean, I'm going to cast something.
I don't know.
I'm going to cast guidance upon you,
What can
which
I
gives you
do?
60 seconds, so go.
I will pick up a robot.
Yep.
And can I carry it? If not, I can cast something to make me strong,
You're strong.
and I
With
can
a
carry
plus
it.
3 on your strength, you'll be able to carry this thing. Yeah, you kind of cradle it like a baby.
You get a plus
Yes.
D4 to one check of your choice, or the next check, as long as it's within the next 60 seconds.
Let's go!
Scuttle.
Let's
Go,
go!
go.
You start moving towards
To the door.
This gate. The gnome obviously clocks you. Hello?
Good day!
He'll speak in gnomish first, and it'll sound like Zintao. And if you don't speak gnomish,
Negative.
no. He'll then swap to seeing you. He kind of is a bit confused at what he's looking at.
Yes.
Sees this creature that you're this automaton holding, and he will speak in common, and I hope that'll work.
Yes.
He'll speak in Elvish first. You don't speak Elvish.
No.
Which would be like Eloi. That doesn't come through,
No.
and then he'll speak in common.
Mm.
Hello.
Hello!
Good. We have found language to speak. Yeah. Good.
Yes,
You seem to be in possession of Stiltmeyer Corporation property.
Yes.
You have a problem? You would like me to
no,
help?
no, banditry.
I see. Yes.
We've been.
You were concerned.
There's no
about-
we.
Yeah.
I've been.
We.
Yeah.
What number of? Yeah.
Well, I mean me. I've been walking with the
Yeah.
the bull trumpet. And this
yeah,
guy.
they come now.
don't know what they're called.
I marked down these three,
Yes.
and there was a 4 that was not there.
I was at a village. I can't remember what the
Yes.
village was. The
Yes.
meat, where the meat
no,
come
the
from.
meat. Yes.
And on my way
We
here.
placed order
Ye-
yesterday.
Yes.
It not come down, so we sent the
Ah,
send
okay.
them up the hill there.
Been forwarded on this way. I'm passing through, and on the way, bandits were harassing.
When you say passing through, you literally looks around with that.
It's on the road, isn't it?
To where? You go to Shade Cap, yeah?
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
There,
Yes.
yeah.
And on my way through, these things were being harassed by bandits.
Zinhao, yeah.
And an honest fellow like me, I could not.
Ah, very.
So
This is great.
we have defeated the bandits, but unfortunately, your property has been damaged.
Yes, it would appear quite so.
It looked distressed, so I couldn't leave it.
It is property, so this is not so much a concern.
Who must I return this to? And
You can.
I will start walking in.
As you go to walk in, you notice the reason why these elves haven't walked all the way through, right? And at about 15 foot, there are cubes.
Yes.
Okay, these cubes have legs, and there's 5 of them, and they're quite stout looking. They're obviously automata of some creation. They make almost a makeshift wall. There's about 6 inches in between them, and they make a makeshift wall.
Yeah.
They're like little cuboid bouncers, if you like, aligning the back. And they're quite stern little mechanical faces,
Yes.
and they're kind of just stood there. They're about 4 foot tall. I'm afraid to enter, you have to be a shareholder in the Stiltmeyer Corporation. This is, of course, the Stiltmeyer's cavalcade of contraptions for conflict, confrontation, outright combat.
Yes.
It's a stakeholder-only event. You a stakeholder by any chance? You have stock options within the corporation, in which case that is a fairly okay thing, and I can check you.
I am a triangle holder, because I don't know what to call this.
Yes.
And
Yes, this does complicate things
Yes.
an awful lot. I would have to speak to my line manager about this because I'm not entirely sure what
Yes.
the protocol is for the returning of the property. One moment, please.
Yes.
He pulls out a box from under the makeshift desk and puts it on, and he opens. It's like a wooden box, and he opens it, and there's just a kind of a horn on a chain that he puts up to his ear, and he pulls like a crank.
Yeah.
And he starts cranking.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, it starts cranking.
I've worked one of these, and I'll grab the crank.
Have
I'll
you?
start.
Thank you,
turning
sir. If
this
you could
for
keep
him.
turning,
yeah,
keep
okay.
the turning.
I've done this a lot.
Sehr straszne, no do it, Ja. Ja. Sister da do
We're both watching this from a Disney.
In my element.
Okay.
Crank in this handle.
It's very good at it.
Yeah.
Just smooth.
Okay.
Just go around.
You are very good at this. Are you sure you were looking for a profession? Because we need the crank and
Let me in, and I'll talk to the superiors.
the crank and sir. The crank and
Very
handler.
good at this.
Da?
You going to invite me in? We can
Yeah,
talk
you
about
want
this?
to go in. The tent in front of me here is the maintenance tent.
Yes.
You can take the contraption through. You can stop turning the handle.
Oh, sorry.
You can take it straight through to the tent. The technician will
Yes.
take a look and recycle it.
As I walk through, what's on his desk?
As there's a stack of paper,
Yeah.
and there's also just a bag. You don't know what's in the bag, but it's a collection. It looks almost like a very large coin purse.
Yeah.
It's kind of sat on the desk.
I don't want to ignore the valuables. I was just hoping that there potentially would be a record of attendees potentially.
So within the stack of papers, you'd think that somewhere within there.
So I'm not going to go
Looks like-
looking. Is it on the top?
Yeah, like there's. It looks like stockholders, so it looks like
Yeah.
a big list of stockholders. It's quite obvious that a lot of people come around stockholders and they sort of
Yes.
become stockholdve before they're allowed to enter and have
Yeah.
to fork over a significant amount of
okay.
coin in order to do so.
I've realised I can't read anyway. So I've looked. Yeah, I don't know what language that is.
It is a collection of
So,
dots and dashes.
I can't
to be
read
fair,
that.
so-
Definitely can't read that anyway. But even if it was common, I would have struggled. So I will. I'm just going to make my way in.
Yeah. As you get closer,
Yeah.
these kind of stout cuboid structures
Yes.
don't seem to move until you get really close to them. I mean, like within a foot, and then they
Yeah.
seem to just move away from you as you walk through,
Okay.
and then will reform as you.
Did I see the guard perform any signal to say this is allowed through?
Yeah, it
or-
didn't seem to do anything that you noted.
Okay.
You're aware that he's carrying something in his pocket that seems to be able to command these things, but other than that, he doesn't seem to make any physical movement.
Yeah. I can't go pickpocketing right now.
Well, he's in.
Made it in. I'm going to purposefully. Has he gone back to just looking up
Yeah,
the road?
he's fine with you now.
Okay, I'm just going to pretend I didn't know that he told me to go to this tent, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to start bumbling around with this
That's
thing.
fine. It is fairly densely packed in here.
Yeah.
There are lots of people, mostly gnomes, and a few elves here and there, but not of any kind of particular note that
Yeah.
you've seen before. But mostly gnomes and elves. The gnomes themselves are, the best way to describe it, they are dapper.
Okay.
They're very heavily dressed.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and this might be quite bizarre to yourself, they're speaking in Gnomish quite often. A lot of them have some level of augmentation. So, for example, limbs that are kind of augmented, they're incredibly ornate, made of brass.
Yeah.
They move just like a regular limb, but kind of look like a brass structure. Particularly one eye is quite popular, so having kind of a lens instead of one eye that kind of protrudes from the skull. Very common. In fact, it's almost seen as a bit of a... You would imagine those of higher status seem to have more augmentation than others. In fact, you can see kind of particular wizened older gnomes with kind of long white beards, with kind of both eyes replaced, both arms replaced, leg replaced. You don't know if they do it with age or whether it's some level of veneration. But they all seem
very
particularly
fancy.
So around here, it's very popular to carry out gnome improvements.
Very good.
But they're not all men. There's also a lot of very posh-looking, well-dressed ladies around in kind of flowing floral dresses. Everyone's wearing some equivalent of riding boots because it's quite muddy. So they're kind of there. The elves are dressed in their own kind of cultural garb. There's a lot of flowing robes. None in the pristine white you've seen before. Most of them are fairly ornate. They're obviously dressed to kind of show their status. So it's a relatively posh do. You stick out like a sore thumb. You're carrying a bedraggled creature. You must stick out so much that people are trying to ignore you.
Oh,
You're almost
perfect. That's
so
good. Yeah.
obvious that you're invisible. These are a lot of posh people are trying very hard not to have an awkward day.
Must be. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. I'm hoping that the whole setup of this encampment. I'm hoping it's all centrally focused.
It is centrally focused.
Hopefully, there's a nice void in the centre with everybody's wares and maybe tents around the periphery. I don't know, something like that.
You see a lot of smaller tents that are kind of, apologies for leaving you guys outside.
Yeah, sure, we'll get you in.
They're kind of hexoidal and they're open at every face. Apart from there seems to be curtains at each of the stilts. And most of the tents are red and white. So they're kind of red and white striped. So they're quite fun to look at, shall we say. There seems to be some level of artificial light that you would never have seen before. That are some of these very large glass structures that seem to let out light, that the tents are creating these kind of warm glow on these tents. Each one of these tents is filled with contraptions, is the best way to describe it. Until you get a closer look, you're not going to know what they are. It's centered around a very large central tent that doesn't seem to be open in any way. It seems to be closed. And not many people are going near it, but it's kind of the central tent. Other than that, there are several stalls set up in various places. This kind of very large mixture of metal and wooden contraptions that seem to have flashing lights and spin. You're not really sure what they do.
Sick.
Yeah, they don't look pleasant to look at. There's definitely tents that have big kind of writing over the top that seem to just have desks with weird contraptions of them and people kind of talking to individuals. And there seems to be kind of individual tents on some sides that have images of gold, kind of like drawn on a plaque, with multiple languages written. And you can't read any language, can you?
Yeah.
But multiple languages written, and you're not sure what it says, but something to do with gold. And there's some other symbol on there that you don't quite understand.
Yeah. It's all a bit overwhelming.
It's incredible. Even if you were used to normal society, this would be an overwhelming experience.
Yes.
Yeah. If you imagine somewhere between kind of a conference, a fun fair, and a technological event, you're kind of
Like
in the
Camden.
right ballpark.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Camden Market on a warm Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Outside, when Wesley's gone in,
Well-
you've no idea what the plan is, but that's where you currently are. As you're kind of looking, the guy on the gate goes underneath the desk, pulls out the box, opens it, pulls out a sandwich. Just starts eating
I
his
knew it was
lunch.
going to be a sandwich.
Yeah, starts eating his lunch.
What kind of sandwich do you think it is?
Beef dripping.
Wagyu beef dripping. Very posh.
She's going to just quietly message to Wesley. She's going to point in the direction that he thinks she is. This does work through barriers as long as I'm roughly in the right direction.
You know vaguely where he's going to be,
And as long as he's within 120 feet.
which you will be, yeah.
And I'm just going to say, is everything all right, Wesley?
Can I talk back?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I feel dizzy.
Ask him if he saw any way that we can get in.
These are canned trips, so I can do this a few times.
Yeah.
Can have you found a way for us to get in yet?
No. Not yet.
You're
Okay.
kind of trailing
Lots.
ticker tape.
There's lots going on.
Well, if you need to speak to me again, come within 120 feet, and we
Okay.
can.
Zintao says no dura no tere, yeah? Just
No, okay.
Zistronage nu de. Da? Die, ja.
Ah, yeah.
Ja.
Yeah.
Wieder de fixer na, no? Is the Chishka the Smash?
No.
Smashing
no.
the fixer da?
Just gonna start backing up.
Yes,
no,
more,
no,
the
no,
cheap.
no.
Cheap.
No.
Fix it
No.
No?
No.
Is it the bro?
No!
Oh, die, Askaska.
I'm going to use this excuse to like back up to the wall.
A small
essentially.
gnome in goggles,
Yeah.
more beard than individual
Yeah.
in leather overalls, was discussing something with a wrench in his
Yeah.
hand, and he backs off. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it as my excuse to head towards the perimeter
Yes.
of the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm going to slowly just start going around until I find a quiet spot. Back to the wall.
On the periphery, right back
Yeah.
to the wall, there are tents set up facing inwards, so actually it's relatively quiet here. You can probably be unobserved.
I want to head into a corner.
Yeah, there aren't. It's largely circular. So
Okay.
you struggle to find a corner.
I'll probably do 2 laps before I realise.
In fairness, it'd take you quite a long time to get all the way around. You're probably
Yeah.
talking, if you were just walking around the perimeter, you're probably talking a good 20-minute walk around,
Yeah.
around the
I
outside.
don't
So
want
40 minutes later.
I want a lunchbox to see over there, but I want to try and find a quiet spot, and then I'm just going to throw a rope over and just hope.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw a rope and just
You will notice that
Shall
actually the
stand there.
entrance you came through was relatively small.
Yeah.
You were thinking that you don't know how the world works. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But it's relatively small. The other 2 entrances, so there are 3. If you imagine almost like a peace
Yeah.
symbol.
Yeah.
The other 2 entrances are much larger. One points directly towards the Elven Gate. The other one points in another direction, which you have no idea
Yeah.
why. But they're both much larger. They're very well staffed. There seems to be kind of red carpets, fanfare, trumpets
Ooh.
going off, that kind of thing. So you're not really sure what you experienced before, but it seems unusual given the other 2 entrances are massive and have some kind of cavalcade going
It's a
on.
little overwhelming. Well, I don't want to head over there. It looks like it's full of important people that might question me on my
Half an
yeah,
hour
what I'm
later,
doing here.
I'm beginning to think this probably wasn't such a good idea.
So I'd like to find a nice quiet spot
Yeah, so you
towards
probably
the edge.
equidistance between
Yeah.
the small entrance and one of the larger entrances.
Yeah.
It is pretty quiet.
I've only got 30 foot. I've given 20 foot to somebody of my rope. Is 30 foot going to be able to...
It's 12 foot up, so yes,
Perfect.
almost bang on. It's
Just
almost bang
throw it
on.
over and just look about.
Yeah, nobody seems to have noticed.
Can we see this? Or is
You
this
can
a...
probably see it, actually, yeah, just fly over the, fly over the end there.
I'm just trying to point again.
Did you see that?
Is that rope for us, Wesley?
You see the rope? It's the rope. I'll be looking dead shifty as well.
Okay.
It's the rope. It's the rope.
Right. Well,
We
hold
can't-
the end. We're on our way.
Really climb over the fence in broad daylight. Wesley, is it quite a hidden...
can't hear
Oh
you.
no, you can't hear me. Can you?
Well, we haven't got any better idea. So
Still got the
Atlantrix
dying-
is going to
Yeah,
start.
I do, yeah.
Dying
This is,
robot.
this is my excuse to why I'm here, is just holding this dying robot. I don't want to let it go until my friends are in.
Elantrix is on her way.
Yeah, on your way.
Yeah.
It's weirdly unguarded. From the kind of events
Oh,
you've
that's
seen,
convenient.
there doesn't seem to be a great deal outside, which is it's up to you. But yeah, there's nobody here watching what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she will attempt to hold the other end, Wesley.
Yes.
This doesn't have to be in your head now, because I assume we can just talk through the
There's
the
like
logs.
6 inches of gap in between
Yeah.
the logs, so you
I'll
can
hold.
literally see one another. Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly, I'm scared.
And she's going to try and rappel up.
Bolt over. I
Yeah.
won't let you roll for it. You are an adventurer. I assume you can climb a rope.
You've seen Elantrix try and jump.
She's not the most dexterous.
That's
Jump a
true.
pebble. Whoa!
Half an hour later, you
Yeah.
get to the top of the 12-foot rope. You do the weirdest thing about this is when you get to the top of the rope, you look over and you're suddenly confronted with quite a lot of information in one go. It is overwhelming, is the best way to describe it.
1,000 people all staring straight at you. climbing over
Nobody's
this wall.
really looking at you. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Ah.
Yeah, and there seems to be people buying things, people selling things, exchanging money. There's noise, there's fanfare, there's collections of people pressing into different areas. People are almost so busy they're obnoxiously unaware of what's going on around them of each other. So you can quite happily vault over. It's a 12-foot drop, so it's quite a drop, but you're an adventurer, you'll be able to kind of stick the landing relatively.
Slight clattering of bangles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could offer a hand just to help you.
Yeah. You are
Just drop,
probably at this point realise you've been trekking through a mountain and the wilderness for several days. You're probably not the freshest you've ever been. That is going to be obvious to the rest of the people here.
We were at Spa a few days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Since then, a lot has happened. I assume you're heading over as well, Phineas?
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll be able to head over relatively easy.
There was the rancid milk.
yeah, and,
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
and the day or so inside the guts of a fish.
Yeah,
That's
there
true.
was that,
Yeah,
so-
but other than that,
Yeah.
And
You did bathe, actually. So you did bathe at the top of the hill. Did you wash your clothes? Can't
oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we're quite
so
clean.
actually, you're
Yeah.
relatively clean.
Yeah, we had a lovely
Actually,
wash.
So well done.
Compared to
Very
most,
Wash.
compared to your
Compared to where you
average
were.
adventurer, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
that's
clean.
true. Very clean in comparison.
Come on, quickly.
So everyone's jumped over. So
Oh.
you're all together on the
Pull the rope back.
side. Yeah.
Don't want to leave the evidence.
Right.
That went better than I anticipated, Wesley. Well done.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now what?
We need to-
Zazadora!
Need-
Zuzara! You can hear shouting in Gnomish as things go on. Occasionally in Elvish and heavily accented Elvish. You can hear, so those of you that speak Elvish, you'll hear things like games, trading, gold exchange.
Well, we need to get this guy to the workshop. That's why I'm here. Or
Yes.
a workshop.
Well, you could do that. We'll wait here for you. We
Somebody tried to fix it, but they think they wanted me to pay them to fix it. And it's their property. I'm not paying to fix their property.
very sensible.
I don't understand.
We're going to have to keep out of sight, though.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to intentionally try and Assassin's Creed it in groups of people.
Cool. Yeah.
Trying to think.
Could we not find a change of clothes or some form of outfit that we could wear that would blend us in? Is there any sort of
cultural awareness, should we say? In the world of Asher, you're outside the Elven lands. Good news. You're in some kind of Stiltmire's cavalcade. Let me get the actual name right. You are currently in Stiltmire's cavalcade of contraptions for conflict, confrontation, outright combat. Almost everyone around you, from as far as the eye can see, is either an elf of some level of status or a gnome. The elves are going to know faux show that you aren't an elf. The gnomes, no idea. They might know, they might not. It's unsure. It depends how long they've been
I'm a half elf.
Exactly. So the elves, generally speaking, in Asher, if you're half elf, unless you're an elf, most people will consider you elven. They won't really be able to tell the difference in most eyes. Some humans might be able to tell if they spend a lot of time with elves, but most humans will think you're elvish, and most elves will think you're human. Gnomes, however, you've no idea at this point because you haven't encountered enough of them what they think. Wesley, nobody's seen a Wesley before in their lives, so yeah, they're going to be quite surprised to see you.
Wesley.
The only person who will be describing yourself, Lantrix, how on the highborn to lowborn scale of the Elven society, where would you kind of peg yourself?
She's medium. She is.
But you're clearly an ogre, aren't you?
She's clearly an
ogre.
Yeah, she's dressed as an ogre. She looks like an elf, but she's not super high.
A privately educated ogre.
Yeah.
What it'll be, yeah.
Exactly, and I think you would probably, in this case, in this scenario, you'd probably bang on. There's not very incredibly high elves here, but there's somewhere they're in the medium to mid-high kind of spectrum.
But is an ogre?
But you are an ogre, which probably will, in your head, that will be noticed. You don't know if that's positive or negative, but you know it'll be noticed.
Yeah.
See, I mean, you could just change your outfit and blend in with these people. We can't. Although I could be your bodyguard under any circumstances, but if we bump into those three, they're going to recognise me straight away.
Yes.
Probably they'll recognise you just by elf sense or something.
Yes.
So we're going to need to be very, very careful.
Just to be clear, we don't have elf sense.
Yeah, but you're all sort of knowing and things, aren't you?
Well, I am.
If they know you, you're not going to be able to slip past them.
They will.
Gambling, trading, gold exchange.
Yes, you are correct. Through their elf sense, which we in Elvish refer to primarily as our eyes, they will detect us fairly well.
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Never figured an elf for sarcasm.
Well, you set yourself up for that. No, but you're right. I suggest keeping the lowest of low profiles is the right thing to do at the moment.
You hear like a whirring noise. It's probably about 15 feet from one of these tents. You hear a gnomish voice talking, and the only person who understands it is Elantrix. It's somebody extolling the virtues of some kind of handheld device. From the sound of it, it's made out of 3 whirring blades. And they're extolling the virtues of it. The virtues are mainly martial in their application, and to do with flaying. It's kind of the general description.
Flailing or flaying?
Flaying.
Flaying.
Yeah, it's generally the what you're hearing through some kind of canvas tent. And people seem quite entertained by whatever this thing is.
It's not a productive way in martial combat, is it?
No.
I'm going to flay you.
They're
I'm
into
going to
it.
stab you. I'm going to cut you.
Yeah. Take
I'm gonna
your
my
shirt
time
off.
And I'm going to flay you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You're going to be a nasty individual, aren't you?
it's to be expected that an awful lot of the stuff that's on sale here is of a lethal nature.
You can't see very much, but from what you can see, you would guess that all of it is that. You're getting the impression that Stiltmire has made an awful lot of money selling contraptions that hurt an awful lot of people. and by the looks of it, sells it primarily to posh elves or posh gnomes. You don't even know if half this stuff is even used, or whether it's some kind of strange, kind of prototype-based market. But that's kind of where you are.
Well, we need
Okay.
to.
She's going to make sure no one's, she's in a little quiet area for a moment so she can speak some of her words.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Perception.
Perception.
Someone's got their eyes on you.
I keep my eye on you.
20. Not natural.
Nice. About 20 feet away, as you look over your left shoulder, there's some individual in leather overalls that have them round their ankles, just having a wee up against the. It's a gnome, having a wee up against the fence. You notice they're also smoking some kind of stubby thing. You don't know. It's not quite a pipe, but they're in overalls. They're kind of quite greasy. Goggles up over their head, and just having a wee up against the fence.
Okay. Well, she's
They're probably within earshot, but only if they were really listening. They don't seem to be.
going to move a little bit further away.
Yeah, so move back the other way.
Yeah, try and find another nook that doesn't have a pissing gnome.
Which is coincidentally the name of the tavern. Yeah, so you go travel
Should
further
look
the way.
around.
Yeah, you'll notice that occasionally people do come out to this outer periphery, and that's kind of what you're noticing is when people don't want to be seen, they come out here and have a smoke or a little wee.
Yeah. Just stand in front of me for a moment as she takes her shield, speaks the words, and she's going to cast Locate Object. My final second level spell. Elf sense. as
Use
it's-
my elf
I'm
sense.
just going to use elf.
What do your elf eyes see?
Not elf sense. And she is going to look for the object that she saw through the Ashari lens after moidering the stone dog.
Yep.
Now, the rules on it, this is your choice as to which of these trigger. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. Alternatively, the spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you've seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. So it's your choice whether I was up close or within 30 feet through the portal.
Yeah.
Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of blah 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 blah. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead blocks a direct path between you and the object.
Cool.
That would be specific, though, wouldn't it?
It'd be very specific.
Specifically blocked by lead.
It's radioactive, obviously, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you are trying to detect the statues? Is that what you're trying to look
No, I
for?
was. She initially saw the. She was seeking Rosset, the possession Rosset was holding.
Yeah.
And that's what she saw.
You saw a collection of statues made
Yes.
of wood.
Yes.
Yeah, is what you originally saw when you
Yeah,
looked for it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
yeah,
saw, surrounded by gnomes.
That's right. Yeah.
The good news is you can detect exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Within the big central tent that isn't opened, is somewhere within there, bang in the centre, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
Actually, something about it feels painfully close, is the best way to describe it. Yeah, it's hard to ignore how powerful that presence is when you look for it.
Yeah.
It's within the centre of that tent. That tent was not there when you saw it for the first time. It wasn't in a tent. It was out in the open. There would
Okay.
be walking
Yeah.
around it. For whatever reason, there's a very large tent erected around it.
So I've just recognised that I'm in the same sort of location,
That's it.
almost stood in the same place as when I saw it through the portal.
Yeah, but it's now
Yeah.
centrally within the large tent in the centre of this.
It's in there. I used my elf sense.
Nice.
Is that incantation verified?
We're looking for 3 wooden statues. What, the small little statues?
No, they were quite large. They were humanoid, and they were hard to depict what was going on. There was one elven statue that was holding a bag, and there were 2 other statues that seemed to reach out towards it. And they were they looked like statues made out of wood, incredibly lifelike, other than they were made of wood.
Okay. Are you ready?
What are we doing?
We'd rather get in that tent, haven't we? There's no obvious entrances to this big tent, is there?
Well, it's like a big top tent, so it's huge. So there will be, if you looked hard enough, you'd see where the seams are, right? And any of these seams can be kind of opened and rolled up as if they were entrances. They're currently all closed.
Are they guarded or just closed?
Hard to tell from the distance. They're just closed as far as you can tell.
That's an invitation to me. No guards. You're free to come in.
This main tent, is it dead center in the thing, or is there any way we can get to it without having to go through a large crowd? Can we?
We're going to have to go through.
We're going to have to go. There's no way that we're going to be able to approach this tent and literally open up a part of it without being seen, is there?
Is the urinating gnome just down the road?
It's going on for a long time.
It is.
Yeah, it's a long time.
He's
He's
drank a
smoking
lot.
whatever this stubby thing is. He's obviously talking to himself while he's going as well.
Once you break the seal, you know what it's
That's
like.
it.
You know,
He's
it
probably
just goes.
been holding that all day.
Yeah.
He's been holding that all day.
I'm going to head over to him and just... He looks like he knows maybe how to fix the thing.
Not going to ask him now, are you?
He will look over to you,
Yeah.
and he's kind of midstream. And you notice he's smoking some kind of small paper thing in his mouth. Zikishna Mashna, no, Smashna, he obviously you hear a zip noise.
Oh, yeah.
Zips, by the way. You've never seen one of those before. That's a completely new invention you're witnessing right now. You hear a zipping noise.
Ooh.
He then pulls up his leather overalls back over his shoulders, and you can see that there's little pock marks and burns here and there.
Yes.
He pulls his goggles down as if he struggles to see down. Big white beard coming out from under. The Yuvan
Common?
What's in the... She'll talk in
yeah.
Gnomish at him. What's in the big tent?
Hello, lady. Nice to meet you. The big tent, that is, Stiltmeyer erected it himself. It is a private function for stakeholders of a significant taking, major stakeholders in the Stiltmeyer Corporation. He wishes to unveil something, I am sure. We are not entirely sure. Of course, I am only an employee of the first or second ranking, so I don't know, but mainly a technician here for the fixing of the automata. That is the major function of me. So you seem to be in possession of an automata. This is a Stiltmeyer one, perhaps, or is this yours?
It we recovered it, having it was attacked by bandits,
Oh, great shame.
and
Seem they have done a lot of damage to it.
well, we thought to leave it there, but we thought no. I'm sure somebody would appreciate it returned, and of course there'd be some kind of a payment for such an activity.
Undoubtedly, it is worth a fair amount in recycling, yes.
We thought so, and we thought we would be prepared to take stocks in exchange for
Sure.
that favour.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you come to maintenance stand and we can probably sort out the details. Yeah, you can take your entourage as well, and likely it'd be in your name, no?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't
Or-
know the Orgas were allowed to be stockholders, perhaps conflict of interest now.
I guess that's possibly true. So yes, perhaps my friend Wesley here could take the stocks. And
Yeah. Large for Halfling, no? Stocky, from good stock.
yes, he's
Yeah, strange complexion.
he's
How am I to judge,
yes,
no?
yes.
Yeah.
From a long way away. He's travelled far.
Travelled far. No.
Yes.
Yeah, we get all sorts. Lots of money. No. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, follow me. I take you. We fix Triton here, and we get him back. Well, probably beyond fixed, likely recycle. So not worth great stock. No, just some.
Yes. Maybe great.
Unlikely.
Yeah, well,
Lots of damage.
We have gold.
I mean, we've got some gold as well. but yes,
Well,
yeah.
you could go to Gold Exchange.
Yes, yeah.
Probably best way then. I cannot deal with Gold Exchange. It's not my function.
What did you pick up? It was quite expensive.
Bangles.
I sent her a knife.
Oh,
Yeah.
the knife.
Yeah.
Yes, the knife.
Yes.
Gold Exchange?
I guess so. Yes. Mate, or should we get rid of this?
Yes, let's
Yes,
get rid
first.
of this.
Well, come with me to maintenance tent, and then I show you Gold Exchange. We maybe go on the way. There are multiple Gold Exchange.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come. He stubs out. He's kind of just flicks his cigarette into his relieved self, and
Where it continues to burn with a blue flame.
yeah.
Again, we're going to be very wary of our
Very
surroundings.
wary.
And
Yeah.
anytime we sort of go around a corner or anything, have a little peek first.
Yeah. You notice that this individual, while he can just walk through the crowd, people aren't really noticing him. He can kind of come and go as he pleases. He's obviously part of the furniture for whatever reason. And the fact that you're with him, people pay less attention to you actually. You seem to be on some kind of business, so they seem fine. You people relatively new, no? You sound to not know how the Stiltmeyer cavalcades normally work. This one specifically is for your kind of arsenal or contraptions of violence, if you like. There's lots of trading here. Obviously, there's the usual gambling if you're into that kind of thing, and it's a good way to generate a fairly large amount of stock in a small amount of time. The traders are here as well, and they represent Stiltmeyer's assets, if you like. If you want to trade an asset for a significant amount of stock, they're assets that all of us possess that we can often do without, and it's a good way to get a lot of stock. Gold Exchange, more traditional, don't have to trade anything precious to yourself, but you just change gold for stock. I do have to inform you, of course, that capital at risk, you take stock out, that stock may change in value depending on the ebb and flow of
Wait,
the
did you say like things important to ourselves? Are you talking body parts?
Yeah, body part can be trade if you wish.
Okay.
Sorry, Elvish not so good. You mean arm, yeah, or limb, yeah. Not just that. If that is beyond your capability, there are lists. You talk to trader, they tell you there are things that you can part with that would be useful to organization, perhaps less useful for you. Large amount of stock in it.
Okay.
Castler would sell a leg. Where's
Yeah.
he need him? He'd definitely get rid of a leg.
At least from the knee down, you know. He's
Easy. You wouldn't need that. He's a tough git.
anyway.
You translate all that man just said. The young boy just looked at me and blah 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 blah.
Yes, he'd like some money.
Oh,
Don't worry about the leg thing.
what leg?
It's nice
onwards to the
meet
engineering
somebody who
tent.
speaks such good Gnomish. You learn very well.
Yes, I travel. I'm an augur, you see, so I travel
I
well.
see. Rare to meet elves who speak the Gnomish tongue. It is hard to learn.
Yes, I'm from Equa. We from time to time saw an elf, a gnome or two.
You pick up quickly. This is good. You trade with gnomes. Probably good to not let on that you speak Gnomish, because often when discussing deals, they will use the Gnomish quite frequently. So yeah, you speak Elvish, they speak Gnomish. You probably learn, no? Come. Maintenance tent, we go now.
What language are we in?
He flicks between Gnomish and Elvish quite easily.
Oh, I know neither. Let's go. I would follow the crowd.
Yeah, he probably won't speak Common unless somebody speaks Common to him.
Yeah.
It's not actually... It's not widely spoken. As you
Uncommon.
walk around. Uncommon, ironically. Common is often referred to as kind of the human language.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah. It's not really something that people do often.
Yeah.
We call it common because that's what the D&D book calls it.
Yeah.
It's more associated with
In
humans.
Asher.
The common language in Asher is most likely Elvish.
Elvish, yeah.
Yeah, and most people will speak in this area.
Yeah.
Most people speak in Gnomish. All the elves are speaking Elvish. So. He takes you to this tent, which is round about where you started. It's a large, just white tent. There's no red or white embroidery here. There's no kind of artificial lights on the outside. It doesn't look particularly flashy. He flaps kind of the front flap open as you look into it. It's a good 30 foot deep. It honks in here. It really stinks of grease, of some kind of solvent. It actually stings a little bit to kind of behold it as you first go in. It is filled with gnomes in leather overalls, and most of them have some kind of workbench that's set up. They have various contraptions of all different types. They're not just automata. They have relatively small contraptions, large contraptions, lots of things with blades. There are tables that you immediately walk by and you feel an intense feeling of static, as if any moment you might burst into flames. Yeah, it's an incredibly intense feeling. Your hair starts to stand on end, all this kind of
I
stuff.
hate this place. It's awful.
It's noisy, there's people banging, drilling, lots of laughing, actually random jokes that go on here, and you kind of don't really understand most of them. They're kind of very esoteric gnomish jokes that don't seem to make any sense to anyone else other than gnomes. But he does eventually take you to a workbench that is empty, and it's obviously his, and says, give me your contraption, I trade you for stock now. But take a look. On table.
Put the
Put it on the table.
You pop it down, he immediately pulls out a leather satchel, pops it on the desk, and flaps open the top flap. And it's just filled with tools, kind of various tools of various shapes and sizes. He starts pulling things out and taking a look. He just reaches his hand to this thing and just pull out a cog, take a look at it, throw it over one shoulder, and keep looking. This creature's still moving. Right? This automata is moving, and he's doing this quite willingly, and kind of putting his hand in, moving things around. It's not worth huge amount, has to be said. It is quite heavily damaged, unlikely repair job. It is probably worth somewhere in the vicinity of okay, not so much. Probably 40 stock, if you want in stock.
We'll call it 50.
40 is
It was a very long walk, and you're that's aching now, isn't it? Somewhat.
I'm very strong. Oh. Yes.
Okay. Next,
It was a long way,
50.
and we defended the whole fleet. 5 or 6 of them returned home
Yeah.
from the bandit assault.
Okay. I could probably go for 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. You know, 40,
Yes.
45.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll call it 50.
You are very demanding.
And what's what do you enjoy? What do you like to do?
1,000 XP.
Sorry.
When you're not working, what do you enjoy?
I don't understand.
Do you have anything you're looking forward to, or any desires, or anything you're saving for, or?
Not really. I do good work. I work for Stiltmeyer. I work hard. A cigarette?
Anyone?
A drink? Lager, maybe?
Definitely a northerner, this lad.
Okay.
Siggies and a lager.
Yes. Okay. Well, what would it be? Maybe 60 if we get you a drink or a cigarette or something.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Do us the 45 for now, and if we need the extra 15, we'll come back.
Okay. He goes under the desk and he pulls out. He obviously goes into a relatively small coin purse and he counts out what look like almost like poker chips. They're like blank poker chips that have values on them. Monetary wise, they're obviously worth nothing. They're kind of like just an iron pressed poker chip. However, he counts out 4 10s and 1 5 and he passes them over to you, Elantrix, and says, "Best of luck to you, stockholder."
And if one wanted to get into that tent, how many of these might one be required to have?
Well, you'd have to be a major stockholder, yeah. So you're probably looking at the current exchange rate. You're probably looking at probably about 50,000. Something along that to mine.
And how much might you have upon you at the moment?
Me as a stockholder. Well, I take about 10% of my wages stock, so I'm probably looking at probably about 1,000 right now. Give or take the 45 you just traded with me.
Yes, so hypothetically. Right. Thank you. Yes.
Not a problem.
Yes.
Good luck. Well, like I say, you can visit gambling, trading, gold exchange.
Gambling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not the problem. Not the problem.
Good luck with your
Should have destroyed that room.
As you walk out from the clanking, hot environment that you're in, seeing these people heavily at work and heavily engaged in cogs, you peep your head back out of the tent. You see this bustling environment that is Stiltmire's cavalcade. Oh no, my phone's not going to lock, so I'm not going to find out what it's called. Stiltmire's cavalcade of contraptions for conflict, confrontation, and outright combat. It's hard to say when you're dyslexic. You take in this incredibly overwhelming sense of ebb and flow of buying and selling various items. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you very much for tuning in, if you're still with us. Thank you very much to our players for making this a very enjoyable evening. All
Very good.
things considered.
Very
So
good. Thank you,
very
Ollie.
much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of Eve. Until next time, we have been...
I'm cutting to the same shot.
Keep going.